Hello, everyone. Let me just check that we're actually live. Yes, we seem to be live in at least one place, so that's good. Right, so tonight we are playing the G.I. Joe role-playing game, which is another Essence 20 game. We played Transformers the other week. I also have the Cobra source book. I don't feel that the main book is complete without the Cobra source book, so if you plan to get in on the game, you will probably need to purchase both. There are also some nice G.I. Joe and Cobra dice sets. I got the Cobra ones, obviously, because I'm a sucker and I needed to spend some money. And they even come with a D2, or a coin, or poker chip, as they're otherwise known. We went over the rules a bit when we talked about Transformers, but I will go over them quickly again. When you're rolling, you take a 20-sided dice, and whatever skill dice is appropriate, you roll them and you add them together. And you compare that to the difficulty to see if you succeed. If you're unskilled, you roll the d20 twice and take the lowest roll, and you don't get to roll a skill dice. So that's like pure random chance, really. If you have a specialization, you roll a d20 plus every skill dice that you have. So if you had a skill at a d6, you'd roll a d20, a d6, a d4, and a d2 all together, and then you would take the d20 and whichever one of the other ones was highest. If you have a snag, then you roll 2 d20 and your skill, and take whichever of the d20 rolls was the lowest. So kind of like advantage and disadvantage in D&D. Your chance can be shifted up and down if something's easier or more difficult. So if you start out with a d20 and a d6 for your skill roll, and you get 2 shifts up, that would shift it from a d6 and a d20 to a d10 and a d20. Push things up far enough, and you get into multiple dice territory, automatic successes, automatic criticals. Get pushed down enough, and you get pushed into auto-fail and auto-fumble territory. Difficulties is a D&D style 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 scale. Simple enough. Help someone else, and you can give them an edge or a boost up. Critical rolls, if you roll a maximum number on a dice that you're rolling, and the skill test is successful, then you get extra effect from your roll. D2s can't score criticals, just to make things needlessly slightly more complicated. If you roll a 1 on the d20 and you fail, you fumbled. You have story points equal to the number of players, which any of you can spend to give yourself bump ups. You get extra points for good roleplay, milestones. When you fumble, weirdly, you can spend your story points to re-roll if you rolled a 1, to roll a skill test as if you're specialized, to boost your defenses either before or after the roll's made. You get +5 if you spend it before, +1 if you do it after. You can use a story point to find a clue if you're stumped, or to add a little lucky twist to a scene if you want, like, oh, someone left a gun here, that sort of thing. Now we're playing G.I. Joe and not Transformers, so there's no Energon. Initiative is a skill when it comes to combat, and depending on your speed, you get a certain number of actions. You get move actions, main actions, and minor actions. And minor actions can be spent to do things like aim, move a little bit further, do a basic interaction with a door, something like that. We shall sort out anything else as we come to it. So let's bring in everybody else. Bump, 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 bump. So with 4 players, you have 4 story points between you. I will make a note over here. And as an evil games master, I get 2 story points. Right, would you care to quickly introduce your characters to everyone? They do have little bios at the end of their character sheets, though T-shirt may have to change his bio on the fly because he's been difficult.
Yes.
So who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
I am playing Banshee, an MMA fighter, and let's just read this. Banshee is an accomplished MMA fighter who retired from the sport to seek new challenges. She's found them working with the Joes and the AF initiative, beating the crap out of Cobra operatives and other nasties. She's always after a fresh challenge and a worthy opponent. Maybe one day she can face off against Big Boa.
Yeah, so she's got her ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
Right, can we have the bio of Sunflower, please?
Yes. Sunflower is a female Ukrainian. I take it that we're sort of in a quasi-real world. Is that the idea? Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. A Ukrainian who has spent the last couple of 3 years gradually discovering about herself that she's all about ends, not means. National pride, a contempt for Russian nationalism, for Putin, has taken her dangerously close to being a sociopathic Russophobe.
So basically, your average Twitter user.
I'm an anti-tanky. There you go. That's what I am. So yes, covert operative trained, infiltration, assassination, etc., etc., and with a decidedly wonky moral compass.
Yes,
and a voice. Sorry, I was just going to say, and a voice which might veer slightly towards Jar Jar Gabor. So.
I want to help you.
Very, very much an anti-hero type, or a questionable hero type. All right, and do you want to go ahead, Ironcaster?
Yes. So I will be playing Basim Bey, aka Huma, who is an Iraqi Kurdish who wound up joining with the counter-terrorist forces, and longed to escape his homeland and the troubles and turmoils of it. And so he jumped at the opportunity to join up with the Joes to be able to make use of his skill set on a much wider scale, on a much wider level, to see the world a bit more. He wants to be able to support, and in doing so, he wants to be able to support his family back home.
Right. Shirt, I gave you the most time because you might need to revise the background you were given.
Yeah, Hurricane is a Marine's Marine. He joined young, cut his teeth during the Second Gulf War before serving in Afghanistan, trying to live up to the legend of his grandfather Hercules. Big, friendly lad, almost like a dog in human form, with deep roots in the east end of Dallas, Texas.
Yes,
and in the
originally designed as a Royal Marine.
And in the Merchant Marine, he swears like a trooper, but tries to keep it under control by using softer terms like, no, he doesn't. He's an American Marine. They don't soften shit. Hurricane's the best friend you could have. Upbeat, cheery, but fierce in protection of his friends and allies. Stand behind him.
Yes, originally you were something of an homage to a British comic character called Captain Hurricane, but you've completely ruined that, so that's fine.
Well, I'm sorry, I just like Sergeant Slaughter better.
It's fine, it's fine. I just have to bitch a little bit, that's all. All right. Okay, so G.I. Joe outside of the US has a rather convoluted publication and toy history. Originally, over here in the UK, we had Action Man, who was like a 10-inch tall articulated figure with eagle eyes and stuff like that. And out of that came the smaller figures, which originally we had our own line, but there were a few mixed in from the G.I. Joe action figures from the States. That was called Action Force. Eventually, Action Force became a sort of copy and paste of G.I. Joe, and a lot of the characters were given different international, multinational backgrounds, which is what I've kind of done with these characters. And then, kind of eventually, in the comic book continuity, Action Force was kind of a parallel group to G.I. Joe that worked under the UN or something and then got wound up. So, yeah, convoluted toy history and convoluted story history, which brings us to our characters, who are part of a reborn Action Force initiative. So it's an allied force to G.I. Joe, with Hurricane seconded from G.I. Joe to help with the AF initiative launch. Obviously, Americans rampaging around the planet and acting as global police doesn't go over quite as well as it might have done in earlier decades.
Well, I mean, come on now. Team America, World Police.
Which is part of the reason for resurrecting the AF initiative, to create a special reaction force to help cope with Cobra and other threats elsewhere in the world where American boots on the ground might not necessarily be the best idea. So if this was going to be a campaign, there might be some interesting politics going on between the American government and the United Nations and G.I. Joe and the Action Force initiative, but we're just doing a one-shot, so you don't need to worry too much about that. So yeah, you've all been brought in, made part of the AF initiative, moved over to Europe, probably Geneva or somewhere for a base of operations. Been through some acclimatization training. Those of you for whom English is not a first language will have had brush-up training on that. And yeah, so you've had an opportunity to get to know each other as a unit. There are other mixed units. Everyone's specialists from different forces or from outside regular forces, like Banshee. But you've had time to get to know each other a little bit and work together a little bit. Hurricane is probably the kind of de facto leader, but regular military ranks don't really have that much meaning in these forces. So you've had a bit of downtime, kind of getting a bit itchy, wanting to get into action, when the call finally does come in for you to report to the Action Force headquarters for a briefing for an actual mission, your first one, the first one of the newly revamped initiative.
Duty calls.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
So, you individually rock up at the building in whatever private transportation you all have, probably.
Something loud, obnoxious, and American.
Yeah, good luck. That'll rust. 5 minutes. So the new headquarters is a great slab blue-grey block of a building with lots of armoured mirror glass, a whole bunch of flags hanging outside, as well as the G.I. Joe flag and the newly revamped AF initiative flag. You flash your IDs. You flash your IDs, you get ushered through metal detectors and things. But you've got carry permits for all of your stuff, so that's not an issue. And you're directed by flashing lights on the walls and on the floor, leading you to your briefing room.
Swagger in with my M240 over my arm.
Hell of a paperweight you've got there, comments one of the security guards.
It does pretty good for holding shit down.
We didn't do physical descriptions, did we?
I
We did.
I don't really see
No.
one.
There isn't one particularly because I did made images, but so yeah, you can pretty much tell. Apart from Huma, who is a kind of somewhat slightly built, clean shaven, weirdly Arab guy with the what's it called, keffiyeh, isn't it, the scarf thing?
Oh, apparently Banshee is like a steroid case to the extreme because she's actually like strength 9 versus my strength 7, despite the fact that I'm the one carrying around the M240.
Yeah, you're built for show though. You're like bodybuilder mass, I think. Banshee's kind of like a ginger Gina Carano, I suppose. And not cancelled. All right. So, yeah, you enter the briefing room. It's got like a thick, armored, like airlock door to the thing. So you have to do your IDs, go through biometric scanning before you're allowed in.
Oh, do we get to meet Hawk?
Not quite.
Damn. Don't get to meet any of the cool name Joes.
You get to meet Shipwreck.
Oh, no.
Hey, Shipwreck
No.
was good.
Hey, I like Shipwreck.
I like Shipwreck. He's actually my favorite, but I think he's probably one of the most mixed in terms of reception.
He just had one of the weirdest names when you actually check out what his name was. But yeah, he was actually kind of a cool character.
All right. So inside, there's a heavy room, no windows. You can hear quite heavy-duty air conditioning units going. There's multiple screens on the walls and all manner of electronic protection. There's a big metal, sort of gunmetal table. It looks like it's been ripped out of a battleship and stuck in here, with a bunch of high-back metal chairs around it. But you're the only ones here so far.
Quiet party.
Huma is gonna go take a seat and relax while he's able to, because once duty calls, once we're out in the field, there's gonna be no time for rest.
Yes, good point. The rest of you sitting down? Or standing ominously? Lurking in corners?
Trying to look
Practicing
cool.
Yeah, practicing stealth by leaving your mute buttons on.
Yeah, and Banshee only sleeps 90 minutes a day, so
Psychopath.
Sunflower is walking around the room. You're tapping on those sort of hollow metal chairs, ding, 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 with her sort of short, mannish fingernails. No concessions to femininity whatsoever. And as she's been moving through the building, she's just been wondering how many surface-to-air missiles this slot could provide if they'd sold it all.
A lot.
Yes,
All right.
and this explains her
All of them.
purse-lipped, permanent sneer of disapproval.
Right, the door opens again. A couple of green shirts come in and stand guard either side of the door. And following on after them comes General Hawk and a woman who you've heard of but not seen before. So you've got General Hawk, that being his code name, and this is General Dove. She's wearing a UN peacekeeper's uniform with her beret stuffed through the shoulder epaulette.
Yeah, it's like poke Huma in the ribs. And it's kind of like, whisper to him, it's kind of like, yeah, the only thing UN was ever good at was making a nice postcard every year.
Well, at least they had good blued helmets. They're nice and sturdy.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you going to salute?
Guns dropped only once.
Yeah, so Hama will stand up to salute.
Mm.
Yeah, Hurricane snap out a nice big crisp Marine salute.
The full double rimmer.
Yeah. Not the double rimmer. Nobody does that.
Yeah, Hawk casts a stern eye over Banshee and Sunflower, who seem to be a little bit slower to show respect.
Yes, she salutes.
Au contraire, I'm very rapid at showing the bare minimum of respect.
My friend Richard, he was in the army briefly until he got thrown out for biting an officer.
What?
Yeah. A guy in his unit had the words "fuck you" tattooed on the outside of his little finger, so that every time he salutes. Of course, British salutes are like that, but it was the thought that counted. Yeah, biting an officer. Yeah. He really didn't want to be in signals, but there you go. All right, so once everyone's shown the bare minimum, the brass sit down, and another green shirt hands around tablets to each of you, some proprietary military tablet in a hard bulletproof case. Presses a button under the side of the desk and a holographic display pops up. Hawk starts the briefing. So, we've had some information leaked to us about Crimson Guard infiltration into various businesses, corporations, political arenas, and so on. As you're no doubt aware, he particularly looks towards Hurricane, this is the Crimson Guard's speciality. They have near perfect cover identities, and they inveigle themselves into all walks of life, ready to spring into action when Cobra needs them to do something. We are fortunate indeed that this information has been leaked to us. Though we don't know the source, everything we've been able to check so far seems to show that this information is genuine. Your unit is being activated as a test for the AF initiative, and to see exactly how effective this information is before we move on other instances. The holographic projection changes again. The Crimson Guard we have traced for your mission has inserted themselves into Saltire Neptune, Inc. This is a company that has been involved in energy, particularly fracking, and also in materials mining, with a special focus on finding some way to make marine mining profitable, either by processing seawater or, more recently, by scooping up and processing manganese nodules. These nodules are found on the seafloor. There's estimated to be about 500 billion tons of iron, manganese, rare earth elements, and heavy metals to be found within these nodules. That has a considerable dollar value attached to it. General Dove just sort of quietly says euro value. So obviously, Cobra wants some sort of in to this technology. Saltire are promising that they'll be able to retrieve this material without doing too much damage to the seafloor. That remains to be seen, but clearly Cobra believe that they're up to the task.
I'm
Now,
sure
this-
Cobra would no doubt want to take this to the utmost level and forego any protection for the environment.
Probably.
This being a
Um,
Crimson Guard thing, I imagine we're gonna have to be quiet.
Somewhat quiet, yes, but effectiveness is most important. Remember, this is a test of the whole initiative, not just this particular case. So the future of the initiative somewhat rests upon your success in this mission.
So where is this located at? Where will we be traveling to?
Well, there's a couple of places we could try. We don't have the exact information on who the infiltrator is, just that this infiltration has occurred. In order to confirm who the turncoat is, it will be necessary to access Saltire's computer systems. This means either going in and glad-handing the people at their head office, or as an alternative, they operate their own secure data farm offshore in order to avoid government oversight and, well, it's somewhat suspicious in and of itself, but apparently they have a bit of a sideline in secure data processing, storing, that sort of thing. Not dissimilar to Sealand.
Then if it's something that they want to keep off the books, then it reasons that there might be less security around this to be less obvious.
Yes, there should be security around it, but if you're not feeling that you might be able to persuade people, going in with authority may work better at this site, or it may not. It's hard to tell. Your approach is up to you, but if one approach fails, the other approach might work, and vice versa. If they're keeping their corporate secrets hidden at this offshore data farm, then that may be more tempting to Cobra to subvert and use and to store their own secure information. So that might be a more direct way to find out. Whereas going to their head office, yeah, you'll have to schmooze various corporate interests in order to try and get cooperation out of them.
I'm not much of a schmoozer.
So exactly where is this offshore location set at? Is this in a very populated area?
So General Dove takes over. The holographic image changes again, shows the coastline of Scotland and zooms out a ways. The server farm is located on a small spit of land called Sula Sigir. There's was only an automated lighthouse on there, which frequently needed repair and resupply. During winter storms, waves often wash over the entire little piece of land. So it's rather inhospitable. Saltire took over the operation of the lighthouse a few years ago and built their server farm on top of this little spit of rock to try and prove their capability and their technology. The government was happy to have them take over, save them money.
So could we go in under the guise of infiltrating or going to repair the lighthouse?
You could. She She looks to Hawk, and he nods. You could disguise yourselves as government inspectors, perhaps checking that they're doing their job properly. That might be a way in.
We'll just have to have some big cases to carry all of our gear in, but
All I need to know is who I can punch.
I
And
think
what-
that would be a secondary option, though. If you have to strong arm their security in order to gain access to their data, less acceptable, but acceptable. The mission is all.
Understood. Yes, Cobra Commander, you.
Although
I am afraid that my grasp of English might be insufficient here. What do you mean by strong arm?
Intimidation, small amounts of physical duress or pain in order to extract important information.
So no
We-
killing.
Avoid it if at all possible. Last resort, unless you're attacked.
we, quote unquote, encourage cooperation.
you can only do what you can do.
Saltire's head office is in Glasgow. And they're sort of refurbishing and rebuilding part of the old docks and shipyards. So they're quite a big employer and quite important to the regeneration of the city. So if you do go to their head office, it'd definitely be a bit more circumspect. With that, we hand over operational planning to the unit. You may request or requisition additional equipment that you feel you might need within reason. We should be monitoring you closely. They pick up their notes and pads and head out, and the green shirts fall in behind them, and the door is closed and secured for you to make your planning. The holographic interface switches over, so you now have access and control through your tablets.
Obviously, we're going to need to requisition stuff to infiltrate. So
If
we'll need
we're going-
badges,
we have
background material, tools, cases.
we have 2 locations to head to, so I guess we should probably decide which seems more pertinent to head to first.
What do we think? What do we think?
I do not understand the necessity of dealing with their bureaucracy.
Well, because the brass doesn't want us just to shoot our way in and take bodies and names, although that's most likely what may end up happening before it's all over with. I mean, we got to at least try to exercise a little bit of tact.
But why do we not, as the general himself said, as posing as government inspectors, we go straight to the site, no?
It does have the benefit of not having to worry about civilians, as in like a major city like Glasgow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we've got somebody that's so eager to punch it out with someone else, then maybe that would be the optimal way to go. At the very least, yeah, if things go sideways, we don't have to worry too much about civilian casualties.
So then we'll need transportation. I'm gonna take control of the display to pull up the island.
Yeah. Actually, let me find a link for it for you. Un momento, por favor.
Because we're probably going to wind up needing a chopper to get us to the island. That'll probably be the quicker and easier option than to try to trust the seas.
Yes, as long as we don't get a Chinook with its tendency for FADEC to go wrong and crash military personnel into the Mulligan Tire.
All right, so yeah, it is a tiny speck of land directly north of the Western Isles of Scotland, north of
Even
Lewis.
smaller island.
Yeah,
You know what this means if it's in Scotland, right?
ginger people.
No, it's most certainly going to mean that Destro and his Iron Guards will be there. Iron Grenadiers. Or they'll be involved somehow.
Banshee will probably be among kindred people. So,
Well, she's Irish.
yes, but apparently Irish and Scottish people have more things in common than they would like to admit.
Keyword.
Good thing
like
about
to admit.
Destro is you can punch him in the head a lot and it doesn't break.
True.
He's durable.
Got a beryllium steel mask.
So,
Right.
I know nothing whatsoever about the law or the background here. So if this is silly, tell me. But I'm going to assume that we have the capacity to forge government inspection identification, ministerial letters, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
and to commission some kind of I think a helicopter is the way to go, isn't it? That's the only sensible thing to do. What time of year is it?
It is winter.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
So yeah, a welly cropper is probably the best way to go, because a boat in the North Sea in December it's a terrible idea. Especially since none of you took the sailor.
It wasn't shipwreck.
No, it's not shipwreck. He was Apostle, was his code name, and he was from Malta. So
I don't know how to
yeah,
do a
North
Malton
Sea-
accent.
North Sea, well, it's kind of Italian. North Sea, not exactly his zone of operation, though.
You can always do what I
Love
do
it.
and not do an accent at all and just have people imagine yourself doing an accent.
I'm going to need a winter coat.
I think we all are, man.
This is not the type of environment I'm normally used to.
But
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Pity none of us are Arctic survival trained or anything. I'm surprised I didn't get snow job for this. Or frostbite. Yes, I am flexing my G.I. Joe lore. Thank you.
I love the fact that it's completely wasted on at least 20% of the occupants of this room.
Yeah, we don't have a Battle Bear snowmobile or something we can move in there, can we?
Might be a bit of a giveaway. All right, so you're going to requisition British government IDs as an inspection crew. You're going to requisition a helicopter, probably a Sea King.
Yeah,
Probably.
something that can definitely withstand Arctic temperatures.
Yeah, one of those tough ones they use for oil rigs and stuff. Okay, so
Probably the
yeah,
proper type of helicopter too.
yeah, that would probably be a Sea King.
Is any of us remotely qualified to pilot this thing?
Can
Did
any
you-
of you pilot?
Did you?
I have a D2 in driving.
That's good enough.
Did you see the I don't know if you guys are looking, but if you look on the map, the reviews of the place. What a phenomenal rate of development. Very good choice for Starbase 313. Klingon weed is a bit strong, though. Probably best to ask your tour rep to get some spice instead. Google Maps said can't find a way there. Plummet Airlines has plenty of seats. Great views, no car park.
All right. Yeah, so helicopter, not uniforms probably, but boiler suits, ID, all the paperwork you allegedly need. So yeah, you should be good to go. All right. So once all of that's sorted out, sorry, go on.
I know we might be presuming this, but we will just have a look. There's going to be satellite imagery of this, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that because they did a shitload of construction work, there is actually a commercial or at least a industrial helipad there.
Yes.
Right.
So I think the automatic lighthouse is on the southern part of the island. The platform that they've built is sort of about halfway up the island in that little kind of square bay. So if you imagine like a multiple platform thing across that section.
Yeah, I brought up a picture of the island.
Yeah. Yeah. There's really not much to it. That is the southern part of the island, though. It does you can't see it in the picture, but it extends north a bit. But that little speck on top is the automatic lighthouse.
Oh no, nobody's been possibly digging underneath this thing and constructing an underground base where there's like loads of illegal shit happening here.
It's not in the shape of a snake or a skull, so probably is safe.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have the name Skull Island, so what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Why don't more
All right.
villains name their islands like innocent things, like Fluffy Bunny Isle?
cute puppy island.
Cozy Bay.
Cozy Bay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you think you need before we screen wipe to you arriving?
Can we
yes.
have like a scene where, like from Hot Shots Part 2, where like the fight scene was going to happen in the barn and like.
You want a montage or something?
where like Topper Harley is basically just putting all this candy and stuff on his.
A montage almost, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. You mean you don't do the battle, you don't do the gearing up scene until you're just about ready to go into combat. You know, didn't you see Rambo?
Look, if you want to get into a fight, wait for Glasgow. That'll be easy.
Yeah, it's true. All I could do is walk out and talk to somebody. Hi, are you back?
Need to fuck your bambot.
Just get into the contemporary discussions of religion. I'm sure that'll work out.
Oh yeah, that'll go over real well. That or how Scottish isn't actually a language.
Just stand in the street and insult either Rangers or Celtic, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be in a fight in no time. All right.
One thing I am bringing. We're going to bring a large, there's 2 or 3 boxes of piping hot fresh donuts. Integral to my plan.
Okay, well they won't be hot by the time you get there, but
We'll put them in a heating bag.
okay.
Such a thing exists.
Right.
What do I picture, like Hurricane would wear a kilt just because he's going to Scotland?
Well, I thought about it, but don't worry. The donuts, I have a plan for these.
Rowdy Roddy Piper should have been a G.I. Joe figure.
Yeah, he totally should have been, but I kind of think the drug abuse and stuff kind of locked him out of a lot of that.
All right. So yes, you're flown to Scotland. probably into Edinburgh, actually, and then transported by truck further north to one of the sort of jumping off points for getting to the right area. In some remote speck of land in the north of the Highlands, there's this heliport that serves a lot of the oil rigs and other sort of industrial things out there, and does marine rescue and stuff. But there is a brand shiny new Sea King waiting for you to board up. Yes, you've bought all your donuts from when you were last in civilization.
Yes.
And the pilots are just kind of hanging around outside waiting for you. Why they're not inside in the warm and out of the sleet and the wind that seems to cut through you to the bone, you don't know. But they are hanging about by the helicopter.
I'm gonna nudge Hurricane. I'm gonna motion towards the towards our awaiting escorts. Like, they could probably use something warm.
Yes, that's why I brought the donuts. Had swagger up there, Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. My name's Nelson King from the United States of America. How you doing?
Code names, says the female pilot.
Oh, I was just getting into practice.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Jane. Dude shakes your hand and takes one of the donuts. By the time it gets to her mouth, the wind has blown all the powdered sugar off.
No. We don't do powdered sugar donuts. Those are just the regular glazed donuts.
Okay, it's blown the glaze off then.
Damn, that's cold.
It's a sad donut.
How do you blow the glaze off a donut? That's some.
You go to the north of Scotland in the winter.
I kind of feel like we should look this up on Pornhub.
Let's ask the lady who knows about sucking the chrome off of bumpers.
Yes. How do you get all the glaze off this donut?
Well, first, you go to the north of Scotland.
God.
All right. I'm assuming you're climbing aboard, not changing your mind and heading off to Paris to start a review show instead.
No, we're climbing on board. Banshee,
All
I think
right.
you want some of these?
Yeah, sure. And she grabs like a handful.
Inside the helicopter, the glaze is not immediately blown off them.
Yes.
That's good news.
Yeah. Sunflower.
Wasn't it Bill Hicks who had a line about a certain female anatomy looking like a moist glazed donut?
Yes, I think so.
That was kind of my Pornhub joke there.
Yeah.
It's ruined.
Ruined. All right. Sorry. Go.
We've got two sort of semi-civilian, or at least not field-trained pilots, right?
One is affiliated to the organization. The other one is a civilian who's tagging along for their local knowledge.
Okay, so we don't necessarily want to leave these two gentlemen sat in a helicopter for the next X hours, do we?
I'm sure they've got entertainment.
You can play solitaire.
Yeah, they got cell phones.
Poker.
Okay, it's just that they're our only way off this rock, and if we lose them or have them taken away, say,
We'll find another way off.
I'm sure there's a boat.
it's that famous American long-term planning I'm always hearing about.
Hey, these guys have to have a way to get on and off this island. Don't worry, we'll figure something out. Joe Grognard, actually, Banshee has Kung Fu grip.
Yeah.
Like, she literally does.
Yeah, it's the name of one of the perks.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Banshee has edge when grappling, climbing, or hanging on. So
Yep, I just posted it up in there for
Yeah.
Kung Fu Grip.
Very useful for an MMA fighter.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
and sex worker.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be Kung Fu gripped.
She put the Kung Fu Grip on me.
Well, so rip your dick off.
Kalima. Kalima.
Jesus Christ, lady! It's a piece of meat, not a.
All right.
Hey,
The
Pop
helicopter. The helicopter takes to the sky. It's very windy and horrible outside, and you're left feeling rather queasy from the journey. So, can you make first roll of the game?
Oh no! Puke
Let's
roll.
see. Yes, basically a puke roll. What's that gonna be? Nothing's hugely appropriate.
I mean,
Brawn rolls.
brawn rolls.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a D4 brawn. So what I do is just roll a D4 and then add it
Okay.
to my strength.
So you take a d20
Okay.
and a d4 because you've got d4 and brawn. You roll the two and you add them together.
Is
Okay.
is it supposed to say D2 or D20?
D2.
Okay, so just roll a D6 to have it.
If you've got a d2, you roll a d20 and a d2. If you don't have it, you roll 2d20 and take the lowest.
Okay, I have a D2. It's for my DCC set.
Okay. Well, I've got a 10 total.
Okay. You barely hold on to your donuts.
I got an 11.
You're okay, just a bit better than Hurricane, but not by much.
15. And that's with
You're fine.
that's
Um,
taking
you're like-
the lower.
You're like someone Wake Hicks sort of territory. What about Sunflower?
18, but that's rolling only 1d20 since I do not get a snag for rolling on skills I have no training in, which would otherwise be the case with Brawn, I think.
But it's an 18, so it's like.
So, yeah, you're absolutely fine.
But I didn't have to roll the second d20, which could have been a 2, I think is the...
Yes,
Point
yes,
it, yeah.
that's the advantage there. So yeah, you're quite lucky. Nah, you've had cabbage soup. This is nothing. All right.
This like the time grandmother accidentally put the goat milk in.
It is daytime, but looking out of the small armored windows of the helicopter, you wouldn't know it from the thick sheets of grey cloud blotting out most of the sunlight and the constant freezing rain hitting everything. But eventually, the tiny little island comes into view. The
How
waves
the
of
fuck do people live out here? And who would want to?
The waves
You'd be-
are so high that they're cresting over the top of the island, despite it being quite precipitous. And the platforms they've built into the little sort of bay shielded by the island looks like a colony on another planet. It's heavily armored. Looks like it's built as if it was going to be placed underwater rather than out here. But from the look of it, you're glad that it is like that. The very upmost platform is the helicopter platform, and that's not quite being hit by the worst waves.
No evil bad guy fuckery would be happening out here.
Absolutely not. Whatever gave you that idea?
This
Right.
must be the opposite of unit.
All right.
You know, people normally live, in places that are like semi-hospitable. This is kind of like living on the surface of the moon.
You- Trust me, it never ceases to amaze me. Just the lengths people will go to just to survive.
Jane brings the helicopter down, and over the intercom says, "I don't think it's going to be safe to stay here. I'm going to have to use down pressure to keep us on the platform. So disembark, get in quick. We'll return to the mainland, and you'll have to call us in when you need us."
All right. Well, we may need this thing to come back with a fully armed gunship. So
Well, if need be, we can call on our allies for that sort of thing. But all right, get your espionage heads on, and out you go.
yeah, hopefully they'll call in a Comanche when they have to.
So this is the point where I would make the joke, prepare to drop, and then just fall 2 feet down.
Yes. All right, you
Impressive.
slide back the massive door, and immediately all the heat that was built up in the helicopter flees, screaming into the night.
Yep.
And you're assaulted by horizontal sleet and fierce winds, spray from the wind lifting the rain up, or from the tops of the waves. So one moment you're getting splashed with salt water, the next minute you're getting splashed with freezing rain. It's horrendous.
Sounds exactly like what happens when somebody opens the fucking door on my room. It's like, it's nice and cozy and warm. Then somebody opens the door. Hey, t-shirt. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. All the heat just rushes right out, and I'm sitting there going, what?
There are some blinking lights through the sleet, which seem to be indicating the way to some kind of relative shelter and civilization.
Yeah. Why don't we head that way quickly?
All right. Yeah. So you kind of shuffle your way across. The helicopter takes off almost immediately that you've disembarked and closed the door.
Castor, you might want to change your background to something more frozen.
All right, let me see what I have here.
Some cans of earned brew or something.
I've tried some of that once. It's like, yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
It's
All
like,
right.
it's okay. I wouldn't drink it all the time.
At the end of the lit up walkway, there's a big ship's door set into the side of one of these armored sections. The thing's built in layers, but this is one of the upper ones. You see a very
Jeez.
confused looking face nestled in a gigantic ginger beard on the other side of the door, and then you hear cranking, and the door swings open. Quick, come in.
Thanks.
Who the hell are you? No one's
Nelson
supposed to be
J.
coming.
Farkas, here at United States, United and Inspector right here, and here's our credentials. We're here to check the place out.
Okay, looks over the letters and stuff. We weren't told there was any inspection coming.
Well, that's why they're surprise inspections.
Yes, let's hurry. It's best to not keep us waiting. Shall we?
And I'll open the box, but we brought donuts.
Thanks. Well, yeah, I guess come in. I mean, you won't be able to get to the lighthouse until the storm eases off some. You just get swept off into the sea. So, yeah, but you can come in.
And then you see this burly looking woman with bulging muscles, like lean muscles, but just coming walking in. Thank
Hulk
you.
smash!
Jesus, you're a big lassie.
Now, why don't you show us around, since we have some time to kill while the storm settles in? Yes.
Yeah, we don't exactly have guest rooms, but there's a couple of unoccupied cabins in one of the lower levels. There's only
excellent.
there's only a few of us here. really. We just mostly look after the data center, make sure it, keeps
I hope
running.
I hope you've got a healthy supply of beef because our girl, yeah, it's like she got to eat at least 12 times a day. I mean, she wakes up at 3 a.m. in the morning in order to eat.
Yeah, we have plenty of supplies. Got a big freezer full of everything, anything you might need for years, just in case.
This is a very advanced facility. The struts seem much stronger than I would have expected. This is very impressive work.
It's an experimental test platform for Saltire's technology. We're trying new alloys that are more resistant to the troubles that we have at sea, the corrosion, the shearing forces, and everything. And some of these modules were originally designed to be underwater, or to be a faster, more agile form of oil platform. So
Nice.
try and make some of the smaller fields more accessible, more profitable.
Yeah, that'd be great. You'd be able to set up platforms in all kinds of places.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get that oil.
But yeah, and obviously, mostly it's the data center. Most of what we deal with is Saltire operations, secure data, that sort of thing. I mean, it's not of much interest to you. You're here for the lighthouse, but yeah, some crypto mining. Bit stupid if you ask me, but there you go.
Nudge Sunflower to say something.
She's looking around. She's particularly interested in any obvious security measures. Cameras. Can the door be code locked, for example? Can it be keypad locked, etc., etc.?
Yeah. So each section has its own, essentially, pressure door. They're not quite up to submarine standards, and they can be locked both mechanically and electronically. There are cameras, but they're not everywhere. There are sort of designated private areas. It's only really the public areas and the server farm that seem to have cameras in them. So it grants these guys some amount of privacy. There's a few other guys moving around. Most of them, there's only 4 or 5 of them, and most of them seem to be nerds.
We are going to require a complete list of all present staff on the island, as well as a schematic of your facility.
Schematic. I mean, I could draw you a crude map, but I can't really give you the schematics. It's against company policy.
Well, we're with the government, so I think we supersede you.
Well, it's proprietary information, and technically this is independent territory since we purchased it.
Oh,
At least that's what.
I promise you, we are all signatories to the Official Secrets Act. You need have no fear on that score.
Yep.
Well, I suppose there's no harm just giving you the layout of the place.
I mean, I did bring donuts.
It's true, you did bring donuts.
So why don't we go find the kitchen? We can warm the donuts up and we can talk on a warm stomach.
Fair enough. There's a lot of posters and things pasted on the walls. They've tried to humanize the location. There's a lot of pot plants, including an out-of-control spider plant. So they've tried to humanize the place a little bit. There's also a bunch of nerd shit everywhere around their computer stations.
Oh, by the way, you guys will enjoy this. I'll pull out a Blu-ray copy and hand them as like, here you go, copy of The Thing. You'll feel right at home.
That's banned here.
Original or Carpenter remake?
The Carpenter remake, of course.
Okay.
Just always carries that around.
Yeah, because,
Can Hurricane make a persuasion roll, please, with an upshift from having donuts.
Donuts. See, you guys thought that was silly.
It's the Steelbook edition, and it could have like saved his life from like one bullet.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's the idea. Yeah. Okay, I have no dice for persuasion.
But remember, you can use intimidation as a substitute for social skills.
That's true. My whole D4. So.
Yep, so it's a D20 plus a D4, but you get an upshift,
Oh!
so it's a D20 plus a D6 because you got the donuts.
Because the donuts.
Donut bonus.
Donut bonus. Okay, well, I got a crit and a 5, so it's 25.
It's 25.
The donuts really worked.
Was that a crit on the D6 though?
The D20.
Okay. Let me just double check. Criticals. If you roll the maximum number on a die and the skill tip. Oh, sorry, it's the smaller dice you need to roll the highest on. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. I think that's one of my main sticking points with this rule set. Actually,
That's really weird because that gives you a higher chance of getting the thing on a lower skill dice number, right?
yeah. But you do have to succeed on the roll as well, so I'm not sure how the probabilities work out. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure they play tested this game.
Well, tell you what, I'll make it a critical anyway because you rolled a 20, and 20s are good. We like 20s. All right, so you got 25.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty to persuade him would have been 15, so it's not quite a double. So that's a success with a bit of extra. So yeah, he agrees to give you the layout.
He's fully convinced.
Yes, what can be the extra information?
Files, personnel files.
Maybe the stash of porn that they keep.
Well, I'll let you choose. What extra information do you want from him?
Oh well, on that basis, definitely the porn stash.
Yeah.
Or, and I know this is crazy. Or personnel files, how long people have been here, where they came from, previous employers, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah. Definitely better. I mean, unless
is
the access codes to everything. Yeah, that would be.
that too. But does the map have notes where all the cameras and turrets are?
Shit.
There's no turrets, but there are cameras and alarm systems. But yes, you can get that and the personnel files.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of curious there, Bob. Why do you have so many alarms and cameras around here? I mean, you know, it's not like you're going to be getting a lot of guests.
But there was that terrorist attack on Sealand some years back, so the bosses want us to be extra careful, but to be honest, I think it's mostly to spy on us, make sure we behave, you know?
Yep, them bosses, they don't want you to spend a single working hour doing something you shouldn't be doing, like, you know, having a cup of coffee or a donut with friendly people.
The whole place is over-engineered, and it's too big for, 5 of us.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. There's only 5 of y'all in this whole complex. It's
doesn't take many of us. A couple of engineers and, some computer nerds. That's all you need.
I just kind of rib him playfully. It's kind of like, I was joking with Huma on the way up, or Bazam here on the way up. Wouldn't this be a perfect place to have a big, giant underground base?
There's sea caves in the island, apparently. Not that we've been down there. It's too fucking dangerous.
I look over at Sunflower. Sea caves. And I use the big quote fingers.
Sunflower is now convinced that she's joined a parody organization. This is all just some huge fucking joke at her expense.
And yet, if you've read the comic books, this is pretty much exactly how a G.I. Joe operation would go.
This badly? Really?
Yep.
Yes!
Okay.
They succeed more by luck than judgment.
It was a joke actually in one of the comic books. There's the Joes are sneaking into a camp, and two officers who are up in a tower spot them sneaking in, and they're like, "Who are those guys?" And they're like, "Well, they're not GSG-9 or we'd already all be dead, and they're not Mossad. We still wouldn't know they were here, and
Okay.
they must be Americans."
So I'm going to switch my kind of cultural touchstone from the Bourne identity to Ninja Terminator. Got it. Right.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There you go.
Or the Expendables is probably a good cultural touchstone.
Team America World, please. You know.
Well, yeah, dialed down a bit. All right, we've got some bedding. You can have these two spare cabins between you. I guess the ladies can take one, and you gentlemen can take the other. I've given you access to our media server. We got a wee library. Just, yeah, try and stay with OA if you need anything. Just ask for Bob.
Not a problem.
Bob.
Yeah, I named him.
Bob. Yes. Short for Robert.
He didn't have a name before I named him. So.
No. All right. So there's no cameras in the cabins, at least none that you can see. However, they are bare bones because they haven't been occupied. So it's like double bunks each side. So there's enough beds for 4 people.
Peruse the media library just out of curiosity.
It's got a shitload of stuff.
Look, it's Mr. Megorium's Emporium.
Yeah. You can watch that if you really wanted.
They only have the terrible sequels. They have Caddyshack 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who does this? This is evil.
Garbage Pail Kids director's cut.
Ugh.
Right. Do you want to engage in any sneakiness or anything?
Rise of Skywalker.
Considering that you're here to get access to their computer systems, if at all possible.
Yes. So Huma is going to go and do a little scouting about the base, trying to get a sense of the layout for himself beyond what little bit we had, in case something doesn't quite match up.
Okay.
Banshee is going to protect anyone who needs protecting and punch anyone who needs punching.
That's not very helpful.
But it might be helpful eventually.
Yes, so I'm just waiting around right now.
I can't believe you're the muscle.
Right. Can Huma make a... Let's see. Yes. Science or technology roll. If you don't have either of those, an alertness roll.
Alertness it is. Trying to find any like particularly like gaps in the blueprints where there could be some sort of...
I'll be right back, guys.
Alright.
That would be a 16.
So the areas that are occupied are all the upper level sections of the pylons. So you've got the helicopter landing pad, then you've got like the main operations room, cabins, kitchen, and sort of living area, and then the lower ones, you're in one of the lower cabin areas, but then the lower sections are all kind of just empty, apart from the power plant.
I suppose I'll go down to check out the power plant.
Okay, it's all automated, and it seems to be running on several was it radio isotopic generators. I can't, what's the proper name for them? Or did I actually remember it correctly? I did. Radioisotope thermoelectric generators. Yeah. So the things that are used on sort of very long-range satellites, remote stations, like this one. They're used in Antarctica. The Russians used to use them a lot and then kind of lost track of a bunch of them, which led to a lot of people getting irradiated. Yeah, but they're safe as long as you don't breach the container. But yeah, there's several of them. They don't produce a huge amount of power, but they produce it for a long time and very reliably. You don't have technology, do you?
No.
Can you just roll 2d20 and tell me the lowest result?
That will be a 3.
This is beyond you. Big machines go,
It may, however, be fortunate that Sunflower is actually looking at this abstractly from the schematics that she's been given. So she's looking at things like wiring diagrams, that sort of thing. Is there anything which suggests that there's something odd about the place, the way that it's been wired, the way that it's been built, that sort of thing? She does have technology D2.
Okay, can you make a technology roll? And you got full access to the schematics, so step it up to a D4. So D4 and D20.
All right. Where's my D4? There it is. Okay, so that is 14 and a 3. 17 in total, but no maximums.
Okay, so looking at the schematics, if this were a military facility, you would expect like the level of redundancy that they've built into the power systems and so on. But it's not a military facility, and even if it were, it's erring on the side of caution. So the amount of power supply units they've got is way more than they need to power what they've got here.
And if we had to, how quickly could we take this offline? If we had to, would we literally to basically either switch off or blow up each individual power generator?
You probably wouldn't want to blow up the power generators because that would irradiate everything. So they should be capable of being manually shut down. Otherwise, if you wanted to shut down the capabilities of the place, you could fiddle around with the computers in the control center, or you could take down the antenna masts. So it would no longer be in communication via satellite internet and whatever else that they use.
That might be something we'd want to do anyway. Okay, thank you.
Potentially. Okay.
Hackerman.
Banshee is simulating her actual strength hitting the keys.
Can't type with fists.
She got her MMA gloves on and she's banging away on the keys.
Any more sneaking around, investigation, intelligence gathering?
Oh, Hurricane's not really good at sneaking or anything like that, so mostly he's just going to hang out with the people around here and just kind of shoot the crap and see if he can sneakily get them to say more than they need to.
Okay. Do you want to make another persuasion roll, but using your intimidation instead?
He's the distraction.
I am the distraction.
You can have an upshift as well because they're all quite lonely and they've already told each other all their stories.
I got a 17. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you get all of their attention. A bottle of whiskey is broken out. Yeah, and they're happy to trade stories and talk with you. What information were you trying to get? Any extra info out of them?
Yeah, Mostly just kind of like, secret goings on or somebody admitting, odd things happening here or there or something. I have this feeling that these folks don't actually know what the hell's going on. And that, the real cobra nest is underneath them or something, or hidden.
Yeah.
Or beside them.
Yeah,
In a
which,
pocket
whichever.
dimension.
Yeah. You're weird.
One second. All right. While you're talking, one of them seems a bit more reticent. One of the programmers. You gather from the conversation that's been going on that he hasn't been here as long as the others, and he was brought in sort of last minute when someone else was fired. So he's fairly new as well. So when you're trading stories and so on, they're like they turn to him. Let's give him a name.
Okay. That gives me an idea then. I have to go back to
what's-
Banshee and Sunflower. Hey, Banshee.
Yes.
I'm trying to crack one of the programmers here.
Aiden.
Aiden, yeah. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
You want to do some candid shower video / photography?
You don't know how many times you'll ask me that.
It's not for me. It's for the mission.
Never seen your only fists.
Fine, I'll do it.
I promise I'll erase them all off the phone when we're done.
Fine, I'll do it.
He's into guys, I'll see if Huma's into that.
So is there an actual plan here, or have you just decided to do a porn shoot in the middle of my G.I. Joe game?
There is an actual plan. The actual plan
Okay.
is to get into Aiden's confidence and to kind of get him interested with lewd pics and see if he will be more forthcoming about what's going on around here.
Well, just
He may know
show
more.
everything below my face.
Okay, that'll work.
He's got a fist like a bulldog licking piss off a thistle.
But look at those well-toned shkanukas.
She basically got her face smashed in so many times when she was doing MMA. So
That 8-pack is pretty memorable.
oh yeah.
With great cheese on it. Okay, so yes, you take some candid pictures of Banshee availing herself of the shower.
I think we're
and then what, you gonna-
crossing over the games that Grim runs across
Yeah.
the streams.
How are you going to approach Aiden then?
Hey, Aiden.
What he says around a mouthful of donut.
I wanted to ask you some questions about some stuff going on around here.
I'm new. I don't really know that much about what's going on here.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's too bad. I've got these really interesting looking pics I caught of what's her cover name?
Banshee. Oh, her real name or her
Cover name.
I'll call her
Uh,
Jane.
Cindy.
Candy.
Candy. Oh God, that's the worst. That's the best stripper name ever.
Candy, the government inspector.
Yeah.
Yes. Mandy
Have you,
Handler.
yeah. You know that Candy we came in with?
With the donuts. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah. No. I mean, the redhead, the big one.
Oh, the muscle lass.
Yeah.
That-
Trade you some info for a few pics.
Okay. Make an intimidation roll because of your special ability,
Uh-huh.
but with no shifts because there is something working against the bribery.
Uh-oh. So it's just a straight D4.
Plus a d20.
Yeah. All right. $12.
12. Okay.
Not very good.
But his cleverness is only 11, so you outwit him.
Oh my god! With that terrible roll.
Yeah,
Your Cobra Commander in the chat.
Cobra Commander.
yes, too much porn. It'll overheat the servers. But what information were you after exactly?
Well, there's a few areas that are kind of off limits, and kind of hoping that we could take a look, as part of our inspection.
There's nothing really down there. They're just extra sections, test beds for work. There's nothing down there, really.
Well, we'd still like to take a look.
I guess I could take you down there. Wait here. I'll get my pass key from my room.
That's what I'm really after.
The robe?
All right.
No, the passkey.
After a short time, he returns. Can you make an alertness roll, please?
Uh-oh. I probably can. Let's see. A D2? Really?
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Plus a d20.
Yeah, but still, I mean... Oh, I got a 2 on a D2, so... Does that mean it's
Well,
like
that's
an
good.
awesome success?
No, because D2s don't crit.
Oh, D2s don't crit? I didn't figure they would. They changed the rules on you. So I got a 19 total.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. So he returns shortly from his room, sort of waving the pass key. But as he moves ahead of you to lead you on, you notice that there is a sort of gun-shaped bulge in the back of his shirt. Like he's got a gun tucked in there with his shirt pulled down over it.
Okay. Oh, hey, Aiden. Can you give me a minute? I left something in my room. Come on with me. We'll
Sure,
get it.
All right.
We'll grab it and I'll lead him back over to where we are, and I'll kind of make a gesture to Banshee.
Banshee comes over.
Aiden does not make eye contact.
Hey, Banshee. Or hey, Candy.
Yes, I don't know who that Banshee character is.
Operational security is something for other people.
Yeah. Aiden would love it if you give him a great big hug.
Sure. She comes over and gives him a massive bear hug.
When she does, hit him in the back of the skull. Take his gun from him. My bare fists, because I'm a big brawny guy too. Plus,
Okay.
he's being slightly incapacitated. So
Okay. Make a might attack roll with an upshift.
So I'll throw a d6 in there and got a 19, but the 6 is a 6.
So that's a crit. So is
Yeah.
that 19 in total?
19 in total, but the d6 is a 6, so it's crit.
Okay. Right. And it would be his toughness, and he's not wearing any armor because he's undercover.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to drop that down. So not quite a an extra crit because you have to get double, but that is a crit anyway, which is 2 points of blunt damage, effectively. Yeah, so you punch him solidly in the back of the head and knock him unconscious. He goes limp in Banshee's arms. You must have hugged him too tight.
Drag him inside the room.
This happens to all her boyfriends.
Fragile.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yes. All right. So you drag Aiden inside, unconscious, and, bleeding slightly from the back of the head, having been punched with a ham hock.
I'll pull the gun out of his waistband and show it to the other ones. Our boy has a pass key to the lower levels, but he's also got a little rod here.
Yeah.
Think something's up.
It's a dinky, shortened barrel Glock 10.
Would I have made it back by about this time now?
Yeah. We'll say everyone's back in the cabins.
Like, I'd say that's a pass key to get in anywhere in this place. Aiming at the right person.
Well, so we have 2 pass keys. Shall we start unpacking the gear and get to doing what we were supposed to be doing?
Let's.
Okay. The rest of the nerds and engineers have gone to sleep, slightly drunk from the whiskey. So you've basically got free run of the place, apart from the cameras and alarms.
So we'll. I'm imagining that in these kind of they're sort of like oil rig units, right? More or less.
Yeah.
Just sort of high
More or
spec.
less.
And so in these kind of barrack rooms, for want of a better word, there's often these kind of 6 foot tall, foot wide metal lockers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stuff
Good.
him in one.
Yeah. But zip tie him, gag him, stuff him in one of those.
Yep. Fits nicely. Yeah. So you shut that and turn the key in the lock and pocket the key.
Oh, don't forget the sock in the mouth.
I don't know whatever keeps people from spitting those out in the movies, but then again, I've never been gagged with a sock, so.
You haven't lived.
You almost sound sad.
So let's grab our gear and we'll head on down the lower levels.
Well, first, do we have a way to disable the cameras?
Well, technically, you're here to access the server room and the data there anyway, and that sort of operation station will be where the security controls are as well. So you can check that out, and then anything else that you need to.
All right.
Were the cameras like the type that rotate, or are they stationary?
They're in corners inside pods, but they rotate around inside the pod.
Yeah, that's kind of modern security cameras. The old long box things that on a swivel, yeah, those don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Camera technology has gotten good.
Yeah, but these are the little pod ones, the more up to date ones.
Well, in that case, what about having someone grab some of the tech boys' gear and go in to pose as one of them for the cameras?
Do any of us look like them?
Yeah, that's the issue.
No, not really.
I was about to say we're all
But if
dudes. It's like 2 of us are dudes. So
Yeah, I mean, you could put a baseball cap or a workman's hat on to cover your face a bit.
you're probably better with technical stuff than I am, Huma. So. And you have a beard.
Does anyone have the technology skill?
Let me see.
In
I'm gonna
theory,
say no, but I'm gonna check anyways.
I think
I-
Sunflower.
I
I
don't.
do not have
I'm
it.
better at, but I'm better at stealth and infiltration anyway. Then
Yeah, I have it D2, but yes, I have it.
like
So-
I'm not good indoors, but I can be kind of sneaky. So
Okay.
Well, it's kind of up to the two of
Someone-
you who wants to do it.
Yeah. I mean, Sunflower could try and sneak past the cameras to get access to the computers.
And now, these computers are openly on the schematics. They're not hidden in any way. We're not presuming that they're a floor below or anything. They're just open in any way.
Yeah.
all right, so I want to spend a story point and say we brought radios.
Yep.
We gotta have some kind of
Yeah.
commo gear.
Dole out
So
your throat
I'll,
mics.
So I'll go ahead and I'll just go in disguise as one of the tech boys, and then I'll watch the cameras to basically say when to run.
Okay. And it's night and everyone else is asleep. So if you want to make an infiltration roll with an upshift,
Ooh, that is a D10.
nice. Sneaky, sneaky boy.
Oh damn! I forgot. We should have said we're here to see the tapestries.
Tapestries.
That would be a 26.
Nice. All right. You are one with the night. You slip through the fields of view of the cameras without any problem and get into the operations station, where with the guy's pass, you're able to access the basic layers of the security system. And Sunflower, I guess, can talk you through it. So make a technology roll with an upshift, so that basically gives you a D2.
That's a 2 before I even a 4.
Oh, okay. That's not good. Do you want to reroll?
Yeah, we better re-roll.
Okay, I'll make that another story point then.
18,
Much better.
19.
Okay. So that's actually better than you needed. So let's see. All right. So you tap in. There are the camera controls, so you can switch those off. The alarm systems, you can switch those off as well if you want to. You can't get access to the servers from here, at least not the important ones. You'll have to go down to the actual server farm to do that. Otherwise, all access is remote to that from off-site, from secure sources. You do, however, discover that there is a whole second sub-layer of security systems which you can't access. You just know it's there.
Well, if I've got the security cameras at least shut off, then the rest of the team can show up.
Yeah. The second layer of security is labeled under a codename Phobos.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. These code names don't tend to bode well.
Right, so next stop, server room.
Server room.
Okay. So you all meet up down there. Cold air from outside is being pumped in and then further refrigerated to keep all these machines nice and cool and running. So it's actually even colder than outside in here, but a lot drier, which is something at least. There's a constant hum and flickering of LEDs in all directions. Yeah, there's a lot of computers in here. There are various access terminals. They're only really meant for maintenance, not really for accessing the data, but with a bit of work, you might be able to get into it. By which I mean you might want to spend more story points. Sunflower's probably the best person to try and get into the systems.
Yes.
So that would be a technology roll.
Okay. Okay, so that is 16 on the D20, and I'm rolling a D2, aren't I? So I rolled a D2,
Yeah.
so D4, 2 translates to 1, so 17 in total.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. You managed to use the checking routines and the file integrity routines to actually get access to some of the information that you need, but only that which you need. You get access to some of the personnel records and uncover that both Aiden and another person have been inserted into the corporate system when they perhaps shouldn't have. So Aiden doesn't seem to be anything spectacular or particular. He was brought in last minute, but his qualifications and so on don't match. You know, there's no actual record of him at the university he was supposed to attend or any of the qualifications he's supposed to have. So that's clearly a false identity.
Fuck, he's a US congressman.
Yes. Yes, Santos El Jalpa. The other file that you find seems to confirm the identity of the Crimson Guard who has been inserted into the company. A Timo Bolan. He's been given basically a false CV and a history in the company. The company's big enough that people can get lost in the background of it.
Is there a picture on file?
There is. He's a very Aryan-looking gentleman with very short blonde hair.
We'll never find him.
Do I need to spend a story point to say we've got a sort of thumb drive or whatever that we can download his relevant details?
No, you have like a personal portable computer thing as part of your free equipment. So you can just put it onto that. No problem.
Okay.
When you say Aryan-looking fellow, do you mean Indo-Iranian, or do you mean...
I mean, as in, you know, he may have been bred in a pod by the SS.
we can...
Christopher Walken in, what was it, View to a Kill?
Yes, Max Zorin. Yeah.
Yes.
A very Ivan Drogo looking figure.
I'll be damned if you put me in there. Goddamn odds.
According to his cover identity, he's a financier for the company. And it says he is currently...
Oh no, is he real? So
he's real.
Just adventures. I knew this was a campaign after all. This is just like connecting the dots.
According to the computer, he is currently in Dubai negotiating deals on behalf of Salta and Neptune with the royal family there.
Then I suppose we know where we must go next. We have to go look into this individual.
Mm-hmm. Shall we?
Can you make another technology roll, please, Sunflower?
Certainly. 13 in total. One on the D2.
Would you like to spend a story point?
Now, are these 4 points we've got collective or individual? We each have 4.
Collective.
So we spent 2, right?
Yeah, so you're down to 2.
Sorry.
This feels like a MacGuffin moment, so yes, I will.
Okay. Right, so you download the data and you set it to upload to the GI Joe / Action Force network, and you notice that some of your sort of Guardian software that comes pre-installed on there says that your signal is being tapped. So the information that you're transmitting is being sort of doubled and downloaded somewhere else.
Uh-oh.
Okay, how much have I sent? Do they already have? Do they or whoever's listening now know that we know the ID of the mole?
Whoever is listening will know that you know the ID of the mole. Yeah.
In that case, there doesn't seem to be much we can do about this, and it's probably better to let it continue so that whoever's doing this doesn't know that we know. So let it carry on.
Okay. Right.
But obviously, verbally tell everybody here that this is what's going on.
Yeah. And then presumably you want to continue to explore this place.
Cobra Commander.
Sunflower almost sounded like me.
Yes, and G.I. Joe is inside the base. And please stop telling me to order a small Sprite.
Shut
Right,
it,
we
Chrome
need
Dome.
7.
We know you moonlight as Starscream. Maybe we'll turn you into a snake. Never helps. All right, so with the security system switched off, primary objective met. You are still suspicious of this place, so you creep down through the various levels, checking them out. They're all kind of still in wraps, really. Apart from the power center, which is as far away from everything else as possible. The power center is the only thing that's actually directly affixed to any rock. Can you all make alertness rolls, please?
Uh-oh.
Okay, what's my alertness?
D4. Okay.
I rolled a whole 4.
I have a D2, so it's not gonna be great. Oh, I got a
I'll
whole
have
15.
a D4 in alertness, so that's pretty good.
I got a 15.
Okay.
Let's roll this. That is a 24. That's crit.
You maxed that shit out.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
Okay. So Sunflower's roll is kind of redundant. Right. So as you sort of move around the power room, Banshee stubs her toe and trips over a mostly hidden hatch in the floor that seems to lead down into the living rock.
Hey guys, over here. There's like some living rock stuff here.
It's barely discernible, but you get your lights on it, and yeah, there seems to be a hidden hatchway that travels down from the power section
Bingo.
down into the rock of the island. You can manage to get a bit of purchase with your fingernails and so on, and haul the thing up. There is a very narrow metal spiral staircase leading down into the rock, and you can hear the thrashing of waves and feel the rush of air from the water moving about below.
Yeah, don't fall in there. It's probably cold as hell.
Who's taking the lead?
Oh, I will, because I'm the leader, apparently.
You still
Don't
have
look at
any
me
of those
like
donuts?
that. What?
You still have any of those donuts left?
What, you hungry?
Fuel up before battle.
Yeah.
Infiltration always makes me hungry.
Well, hopefully we'll take a break soon.
We will see. All right, so you creep down these metal steps as best you can. The white noise of the waves helps cover any noise you might make. As you reach the bottom, can everyone make another alertness roll, please?
Yes. That is a 10.
Yeah, 15.
10
You're
for
just
me.
not very observant, are you?
17.
12, which makes me sort of nostalgic for the 23 I got to discover the hatch.
Remember that 23. All right. As you get to the bottom, you can smell smoke from recent gunfire, and the coppery tang of blood is in the air as well.
Oh, shit.
At the bottom, it opens up into sort of cavernous spaces. At the section that's closest to the sea, which seems to be part of the sea cave here, there seems to be some sort of tidal generator providing more power. But there are only emergency lights on, sort of running cable lights strung around the caverns. This looks like it's some sort of mothballed military base of some kind.
I pull out my sawed-off shotgun. Pull it out,
Bag,
rather.
your
not pull it
toolbox.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to start
Just
assembling the M2, the squad automatic weapon here.
That shotgun wasn't sawed off before. She just ripped it in half.
Yeah.
She just broke it in half with her,
And it was a clean break, too.
Yep. Oh yeah, you karate chopped it.
So there's a pool where it looks like small submersibles could enter and exit. There are bays where like other small vessels could be. There's a couple of jet skis or skidoos tucked in there. Cobra livery, dark blue with red Cobra sigils on them. There's some fuel tanks set up. And as you sort of move out into the room, you can see that there is like observation decks and barracks buildings built in. There seems to be a body slumped at the bottom of the stairs leading up to the control room.
Go check it out.
I'm gonna go for the like gangway planks, the observation.
Okay, so you start climbing up to the observation decks. So Hurricane is heading over to the body. What's Banshee and Sunflower doing?
Banshee is following behind and crouching down because it's probably not enough clearance for her.
Following behind who?
I thought two of you were heading across the ledge.
No,
No.
we went separate ways.
Oh,
I
never
went up to get elevation.
Okay, then. Where did you go,
Go on.
T-shirt?
He went to
Check out the corpse.
Okay, then I will go up the elevation.
Okay, so you follow after Huma. And Sunflower?
Wherever I can get the best elevation and or sight line on the sea cave entrance, just to make sure nobody.
Okay.
Actually, both the sea cave entrance and the stairwell we came down, if that's feasible.
Yeah, so you move off and to the right behind some rock outcroppings, and that gives you the best line of sight on both.
Yep.
Okay. Hurricane moves over towards the slumped body. They seem to be dressed in an Iron Grenadiers combat uniform,
I knew it.
but they are covered in slashes, extremely sharp-looking slashes. Can you make an alertness check, please?
Me? Yeah.
Yes.
18.
Okay. It's as if they've been slashed by razors or something, extremely sharp, honed to a near perfect edge that seems to have cut them. As you get close to the body, another one of them, covered in wounds, moves out of the command deck section, exposing himself to potential fire from everyone else, with a rifle, trying to aim it down the stairs at Hurricane. But those of you who got elevation, Banshee can't really hit from here with a shotgun. Sunflower's watching the other areas, so that's Huma then has an opportunity to make like an Overwatch shot.
He's pulled out his assault rifle and he's setting up.
Okay, so you sight down on this guy as he comes out. Make a shooting roll.
Right. Targeting D6. Would I be able to get an upshift for aiming? I haven't taken the time to...
So yeah, you have minor actions, don't you? What's your speed?
Speed is 6.
Okay, so that gives you 3 minor actions, and you can aim for some of them.
So we'll say I aim twice.
Yeah, I think it's twice as the maximum, isn't it? Oh no, you can do up to 3 shifts for aiming. So yeah, so you could have 3 shifts up.
Well, I got a 15 plus I critted on my D10.
Okay, nice. So 15, that's
25.
25, so that's a hit. That's not quite double, but you got a crit. So it does its damage effect twice. So it's what, 1 sharp damage?
I haven't. Let's see. Yep, 1 sharp or for 2 sharp downshift 2. But so yeah, one sharp.
Yeah, but you got a crit, so yeah, it doubles that,
Okay.
that damage. So you get to do the effect twice. All right. So yeah, you're set up, ready. The moment you see movement, you zero in. You make certain to yourself that this is an enemy, and then pound off a couple of shots into him. He's hit. His gun goes off. So Hurricane, you hear a bunch of shots in rapid succession, and then a second Iron Grenadier comes tumbling down the stairs, landing with a sickening thump next to the other body.
Heck. So it's so I called it Iron Grenadiers.
There'll be time for I told you so later.
So this means Destro. Well, whatever killed this guy was, I don't think we're alone on this island.
What would make you say that?
Well, the fact that this guy was, let me make sure I'm getting this right. This is an Iron Grenadier who was all cut to pieces, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one who's just shot also has a couple of the same, razor sharp cuts.
I think we're in the presence of a ninja, guys.
Yeah, he's got defensive wounds on his hands and arms.
Ninjas!
You don't suppose they sent Storm Shadow or... No. If they'd have sent Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes, they'd have already gotten through this already. Huh?
Well, you've got free run of the place now. Do you want me to just run down a quick description before we take our break?
Let's do that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it seems to be a mothballed or currently not in use station. There's a mix of Cobra and Mars equipment and supplies. It looks like there was like a skeleton crew set here just to look after the place of Iron Grenadiers. You You find 3 other corpses scattered around in here. They were probably quite resentful of being tucked away in the caves and not allowed up in the relative luxury of the station. But there's sign of their occupancy, like a pin-up poster of the Baroness. Yeah. that kind of thing. And their food and supplies. The control room is where 2 of them were quite horribly killed, having their throats cut. A bunch of cables are pulled out of some of the computer systems here. And someone has painted some words in blood on the back wall.
What's it say?
Sangre para el Baron.
Blood for the Baron?
It says Baron.
So what does this mean?
Well, that's a question. Right, let's take a break there.
Okay.
Do you want 10 or 15 minutes?
Let's do 10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Viewers, we will see you in 10 minutes. I'll remove everyone and then I'll see you in 10.
Yep.
and maybe we're back.
Yep.
Yep.
No caster yet. So I will pop him out till he's back. There we go. There you are.
Oh, hey, that's just outside Ironcaster's window.
To get rid of that banner. There we go. Alright. Down timber.
I'll mute myself. Hold on.
Alright. So when we left our heroes, they'd found a hidden Mars base, Mars/Cobra base, in mothballs, and its crew, apart from one, had been killed. They finished off the last one. And the words "Blood for the Baron" in Spanish painted on the wall in blood of one of the Iron Grenadiers. They had also uncovered the true identity of the Crimson Guard infiltrator. Why a Crimson Guard would be infiltrating one of Destro's cover organizations remains to be seen. Timo Obolin, who is acting as a financier for this company, Salter and Neptune. And Timo is currently in Dubai, negotiating with the royal family there on some kind of business for Salter and Neptune. So presumably that might be your next stop.
We'll have to contact the helicopter to come in and pick us up.
Yep.
Yeah, but in the meantime, what are we going to do with the rest of this place?
I think with a small amount of engineering, we might. What is the name of that terrible film? Hunt for Red October. Yes. Small nuclear accident. Everybody must be evacuated. They go on helicopter with us. Cleanup team comes here. Boom. Yes.
Well, not the worst plan I've heard. Can you set it up?
Does anyone have the science skill to set off a fake nuclear accident?
I wasn't necessarily thinking fake.
Okay.
Let me have a look. Do I have science?
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what Scotland really wants is a nuclear accident right off the coast.
Just a minor one.
Oh.
It's a little one. Baby one.
It wouldn't do any more environmental damage than the salmon fishing industry. I don't have science, no, but I don't have any penalty for using it because of my presence, doodad.
You just see it as like, today we got the self-baking haggis.
And the best part, it glows in the dark.
So you can find it.
You can find
Change
it in the dark winter nights.
Yes.
As you're
Less
stumbling
of
down
Rabby
the street
burns
in
and more
Glasgow.
Raddy burns.
And actually, we don't even need to do that. We just tell the civilians here that that's what's happening.
Yeah. You can fake an alarm at least. That should be easy enough. Just make a tech roll. 10 or higher.
Let's have a look.
Do we have any high tech motion detector camera stuff that we can put in the Cobra mothball base to see if anything comes back?
Not with you, but if you send a crew here after you're finished to deal with it, they can.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the brass can decide what to do with it.
So 15 on the tech roll.
Okay, no problem. All right, so you managed to set off a radiation alarm. Everyone panics. The helicopter is recalled, and you flee the place with the crew who end up in G.I. Joe / Action Force custody to be interrogated. Yes, for any more useful information.
What is it about this group of players that ends up sending civilians into black sites? It's not the first time it's happened.
No.
We just, it's just how we roll.
Right, you get a call from General Dove on your devices once you're back on the mainland.
She's
All
probably
right,
going to
give me
bitch at us about it.
Give me a situation report.
Well, we discovered an unused, or an old mothballed Mars base underneath the place in the caves, along with a couple of Crimson Guards. But one of them had already been killed, and the other one was in the process of being killed.
Iron Grenadiers.
Or Iron Grenadiers, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
What was I thinking of? Yeah, Crimson Guards, Iron Grenadiers. Yeah, Iron Grenadiers. And I'm willing to bet it was ninjas because they were attacked with something razor sharp.
With bladed weapons, certainly. Well, the follow-up crew should be able to determine more. What's your next step?
Where is it we're headed?
Dubai.
But if you
Dubai.
want to go and capture the Crimson Guard, then yeah, Dubai.
We also, at this point, better had report the fact that somebody seems to be tapping into our comms.
Also, we found a ninja.
We didn't
Or
actually find him.
Evidence of a ninja, rather.
If you found them, they're not a ninja. That's how that works.
Yeah, they were one step ahead of us the whole time.
Right, if our communications are being tapped and there is some sort of third-party assassin involved, then I don't think subtlety is the way to go. Proceed at best speed to Dubai and arrest this Timo Bolan. Bring him in alive for further interrogation. We need to get to the bottom of this, find out what's going on. It sounds like there's some sort of friction between Destro and Cobra Commander, and there is this unknown third party.
It's possible Cobra Commander could have sent in Night Creepers.
Or Red Ninjas.
Yeah.
Well, go careful, but so far, you're doing quite well.
We're trying to be kind of low-key. The donuts work.
The what?
The donuts.
Yeah, see, we bribed him with donuts. And something else that... Never mind. Just forget that I said that.
I told you I erased those off my phone.
Did we bother to rescue the geeks?
Well, yeah,
Yes, you did.
that was part of
they're
it.
now in custody. All right. Are there any more requisitions or anything before you head to Dubai?
Well, if we're going in guns blazing,
We're gonna need more guns.
well, I like my gun just fine, but they try escaping
I'm
or
gonna
anything.
need a minigun.
You can't
Don't think
fire
you're
a
qualified
minigun.
to use one.
Well, you're saying I'm not like the Terminator?
No.
No, you don't want to randomly walk around naked.
You're more like Jeff Speakman in The Perfect Weapon. You just beat the shit out of people.
We are.
What about some smoke grenades?
Flashbangs?
Flashbangs are always nice. Smoke grenades? I prefer not to let the bad guys get away.
Okay, you can get some concussion grenades, and your regular kit brought to the nearest international airport.
Does that regular kit include things like tasers and other non-lethal suppression tools?
It can, if you ask for them. Otherwise, it's what's on your sheet.
No, we will
But,
certainly. I mean, diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle memory of the general saying, "Bring him back alive."
Yes, if possible. But yes, so you can get tasers and batons and other things for clubbing people into cooperation.
And
How about
also some kind of
handcuffs?
some kind of very specialized drug, rendering people unconscious for sustained periods of, if in case we need to do a kind of Mossad in the boot of a car and then in a crate sort of thing.
Yeah. Does this smell like chloroform to you? Yeah. Except something more effective than chloroform. Yes, you can get some kind of like air hypo or whatever of some kind of knockout drug. Certainly.
Cool.
All right. So another long time spent in the air and getting nice and jet lagged. So it's a military flight, so it's no frills. You land in a separate section of the airport to the civilians. According to the information that you've got, the meeting is taking place. I thought I noted down where it was. No. Well, it's Dubai. So one of their newest, showiest, weirdest shaped skyscrapers that they're constantly building to show off. That's where the meeting is.
So early period Mohammed bin Salman rather than late period Gaddafi. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Used
out.
to be near those like weird palm tree shaped islands.
Yes, it's out on a reclaimed island, all by itself. It's all rather phallic and defiant of nature and God himself. But that's where it supposedly is. Unfortunately, the local authorities don't seem to be being particularly cooperative, so they're not laying on any vehicles to assist you. They're sort of doing the bare minimum. They do wave you through security, but it still takes a while and some phone calls and pretending not to understand translators and so on. You end up feeling extremely frustrated and like you're being deliberately delayed.
It's almost like they don't want us to travel there.
It is.
Almost.
But nonetheless,
Or like we're
you're
being
here.
deliberately held up.
But you have no vehicles, and it is painfully hot. So how are you going to get from the airport all the way to this tower?
Any of you experienced in a little bit of grand theft larceny? This is Dubai. There is literally tons and tons and tons of very expensive sports cars parked everywhere.
Which is why we're naturally going to steal the little tuk-tuk car.
No. No.
Or, and I hate to be so prosaic, but Avis.
Sports car. Let's go steal one.
Okay. So yeah, almost directly outside of the airport, you find some parking areas where people are offloading sports cars. There's a bunch of Instagram influencers standing around these very posh sports cars.
Kill
Take
them.
pictures.
Kill them
Perfect.
immediately.
Perfect.
So what's
Okay.
the plan?
Okay. So we're still dressed in civvies, aren't we?
Well, you can check this. It's gloves off time because time is pressing. So you can be in civvies if you want, or you can be in the fatigues.
Start off in civvies, but we'll probably doff those pretty quick once things get underway. But basically gonna, since these influencers are kind of stupid, gonna basically pose as a valet for one of their expensive cars because it'll work.
Okay. So you come strolling up. There's some vaguely, somewhat familiar Instagram model posing half naked on the hood of this highly expensive supercar, while some podcaster chud poses near her and takes photos and selfies as well. Yeah, so you come up. It's like, hey, we're trying to take some pictures here.
No problem, sir. I'm just here to pick up the car. Your valet.
And the disguise immediately falls flat because you're not Indonesian and you've still been allowed to keep your passport.
True. True.
Valet.
Yes, yeah, for your car. Park your car.
It's fine. It's fine here.
Oh no, sorry. See, we got strict instructions. We got to move it. I'm just doing my job, sir. We'll put it over here in parking lot 6. We'll give you a ticket and everything.
So he comes over to you and sort of ushers you to the side slightly, and takes out a wedge of cash from his shirt pocket, takes off a few bills and hands them to you. Says, "It's not actually my car."
I tell you what, you give me the keys and I'll park it, and we won't have to say anything else about it. Okay?
It's not my car.
Whose is it?
Have the keys.
Whose is it?
I don't know. But this chick's wet for it, so you know.
I understand. All right. As you were. My God, how did we get this lucky? We picked the one guy.
Well, I assume we still have our voice comms.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, well, we do still have the other key we picked up.
The passcode?
Oh, no. The other
you-
key.
The gun?
Well,
We have tons of guns. That's not the problem. If I just wanted to
Yes.
steal a car at gunpoint, but that attracts cops.
we're in Dubai.
This-
This isn't even his car.
Sunflower is dressed in a full niqab. Literally, you can only see her eyes, but of course, she can hear this conversation going on.
This plan will work, okay? We just need to find some other dumbass to pull it off on.
Or it's my car.
True. You're respecting local customs, after all. But the guy still doesn't have the key.
It doesn't matter. We just need to drive him away, as it were, move him away from the scene of the crime. So that's
I
my
think,
suggestion. Since I'm in a cab, I will just walk up. He can only see my eyes, and I am going to claim to be the owner. What the hell are you doing? By the way, my husband is the 14th in line to the throne.
Would you care to make an intimidation check, please?
Ooh, deception?
Yes, I'll allow it, and you can have an upshift.
Okay, so that's from D8 to D10?
Yep.
Is that how that works? Okay, cool. All right. So that's an 8 plus an 18, 26.
Right. Yes, he is fully and completely deceived, and yeah, the girl heads off in one direction, and he heads off in the other with his head hanging low. Yes, but between him and a couple of others, you can requisition, enough supercars to transport your.
All right.
Might need to hotwire this one.
Well, okay. Who's good at that?
Anyone with the technology skill.
Leading to the rather unedifying sight of this nickab riding up around my calves as I lay across the front seats of a Lambo, cracking open the steering column.
Yeah, some guy across the street faints at the sight of your penis.
As the old Bill Bailey joke goes about the Victorians, cover up the piano's legs, darling. They're inflaming my ardour. So it is, what did we say? Tech D20 plus D2. All right. So that's a 14 and a 3, 17.
Okay. You're fortunate in that they've skimped on the security for these cars, probably because no one would be enough of an idiot to steal one from them. But yes, so you managed to quickly bypass and start up a couple of these cars. So you roar off through the streets in these delightful machines at extremely high speed, with flames occasionally coming out of the exhaust pipes, and make your way across the city, out onto the coast and out onto the reclaimed land that's out here. You pass by scary areas with dozens and dozens and dozens of identical Mook mansions all laid out next to each other with identical plots of land. It's a bit surreal and odd to be here. It's like if Trump made a country from scratch. It's the land that taste forgot.
Everything's big, beautiful, and gold. And my name in letters on every building.
Pretty much, yeah.
You do that really well.
Right. According to the signs, this is the Burj Al Rama, the Merciful Tower, and it's a slightly obscene shape. It looks like a slightly creative sex toy has been covered in mirror film and just sort of jammed in here on the coast on its own little spur of land with a whole bunch of freshly planted date palms and so on, providing an avenue up to it.
What a wonderful place. Can you imagine what happens when we detonate a few grenades?
Yes. It's a triumph of engineering and all that, but it's tacky as all hell.
That's all right. You know what happens to it whenever it gets hit with an AT-4 anti-tank rocket?
Bad things.
Yes.
The same thing that happens to everything else.
Yes, the same thing that happens to everything else. Boom. Now it's a beautiful pile of rubble, courtesy of America.
Damage this bulldozer would suffer if I let it roll straight over you. None at all.
No.
Okay. Your sports cars actually don't look too out of place in the parking garage.
I knew they wouldn't.
Building. There's plenty of other supercars, but for a change here and there's a lot of Rolls Royces and other posh luxury cars as well, limousines and so on. There seems to be quite the soiree going on here.
There we go. See, I told you, man. These things handle like a dream, don't they? Really got to requisition one of these when we get back to G.I. Joe headquarters for, official use.
Though we should probably get some. I think the next shop's going to be getting some clothing to be able to infiltrate. If there's a swanky party, then we can't exactly go in dressed in our usuals.
We can't all be dressed up in. Yeah, we can. Sunflower, do you think you could find us some big enough, full dress kafias? Or the hell you call them?
You
I mean, I
want-
know you're gonna have a hard time finding one big enough to fit Banshee, but
I mean, you could ambush some local women and take their,
oh God, no! In an
take their
Arabic country?
burkas.
No, God, we want to live, not commit an international crime.
or rather, another international crime.
What?
But I mean, I'm assuming there's like a Dolce and Gabbana niqab shop, right?
Got to be.
Probably.
Some sort of fancy Dubai wardrobe.
Why am I getting Carry On Up the Khyber vibes? That's my favourite Carry On film.
Mm.
That one.
That and Carry On Screaming.
Yes, that's a good one. All right, so
I mean,
park. Sorry, go on.
No. I just wanted to establish whether the whether the penis owners in the group actually wanted to go in full female, dress. I mean, it's a very effective disguise, and no one's going to fuck with you in that sense. It's
Exactly.
useful.
I mean, literally, they're not gonna fuck with us.
Well, okay. I mean, cultural
you could-
appropriation it is.
Well, I mean, plus you can, you can hide an M240 saw under one of those things, and
I'm just imagining Robin Hood men in tights when
we're not
right.
girls.
So you pile out
How-
with your kit bags. Take
How dare you? Allah will only forgive so much.
take the elevator up to the shopping area, which is the bottom 2 levels of this edifice to capitalism and oil money. It's almost empty, but there are a few people moving around shopping. There's definitely like multiple times as many staff in the shops as there are actual shoppers. But yeah, you can go into one of the clothing stores and buy a bunch of full burkas of exquisite fabric. This is going to look very interesting on your expenses sheet.
Hey, Huma.
Yes.
Does this burqa make my ass look fat?
I think one of us should probably not be dressed as a woman.
Oh, and of course you're gonna say you because you have the beard.
Well, of course.
Fine.
These are your wives, are they?
Nobody told me that the crotch of these panties would ride so high, though.
You actually went all the way.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna jump into this, go full bore, right?
Truly dedication to the cause, my friends.
Just kidding.
Right.
But the point is well taken, given the state of gender relations in this country. If we are seeking to get anywhere restricted, it is better to have at least one man with us. Yes?
Yes, let's do it. I mean, let's not do it, but
Okay. So, having snuck away and changed into your cover identities, just briefly, Malwinius, I probably will run Whitechester at some point, but I do want to make more headway on this project of playing unplayed games.
about to say, how big is your stack now?
I have finished the first section of my bookcase. Well,
Oh,
this game.
And also, I mean, I hate to say it, but given who's sitting playing in this game right now, you've got at least 3 authors of Whitechester.
yeah.
Yeah, which may make things a bit difficult, but
Don't worry, I don't remember anything that I wrote, so
I just
All
remember,
right.
don't dig in the poop.
All right. So once you're changed and disguised, you make your way up to the conference level. Here you emerge out onto the proper base floor of the tower. This is like the proper reception for all the presumed business areas and so on. There are more people here. There seems to be some sort of all-day cocktail party or something. In effect, there's a mix of Westerners and locals in little huddles everywhere, talking to each other. Sort of upper half level, you sort of go up some stairs because this whole atrium is pretty huge. There's a balcony in the shape of like a petal coming out from the building, and there seems to be more people out there. But the signage says that there is this conference between Neptune and the local government, mostly occurring on the upper floors in private rooms, but this is like a socializing area. There seem to be representatives of quite a few different companies here. And there is alcohol going around, which is a little
Wow.
bit naughty, but they do make accommodations for Westerners.
Unusual.
Then I suppose it'd be best to kind of travel about and
Find our
mingle a
target.
bit. Yes.
After
Although- None of us speak the language, though.
Well, there's enough foreigners here that we should probably be able to pick on some things.
Okay.
Huma speaks Arabic, doesn't he?
I believe so. Let's see. Arabic, Kurdish, and English.
There you go. And most people are speaking either Arabic or English here.
If we had Princess with us, she can speak so many languages.
Yes, she would have been even more suited, but Huma is quite suited as well.
Yeah.
After a short while, a couple of very smartly dressed security guards who look like, they look like admirals in dress uniform. They're so overdressed, but they do come over and stop Huma. Excuse me, exalted sir. I don't see a pass badge. Who are you here representing?
Pass badge. I turned to one of the wives like, "You don't have my badge?"
I thought you had it.
No, I told you before we left. Your job is to hold on to this badge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have set it down in the ladies' room back home.
Honestly, you cannot get very good help out here.
Well, you could still have another wife.
Are you looking to buy one?
No. She's a little big.
Well,
Then
you
I'll-
have to say that.
I'll
You
go
know what they
stand
say
next
about
to
big women?
Banshee just to make myself look small.
Can Hurricane make a deception roll to pass muster with his falsetto, please?
Oh, shit. Well, since I can use intimidation
You
as my
can,
deception, yeah.
yeah, and you can have an upshift because you're completely covered from head to toe.
Very well. Yeah, my intimidation's a D4.
Also,
so
your pectorals can be a disguise as breasts. So
there you go. So I got a 20 total.
that's good enough, right? So yeah. Well, who are you with? Perhaps I can get a temporary pass for you, sir.
Yes. We were here to meet with what was his name again? The gentleman from Scotland.
Destro, of the Laird of the Destro clan.
I'm afraid no such person is here.
Damn. Are you sure we're at the right party?
No, it wasn't him. It was.
Well, presumably you would actually remember who you were
Yes.
here after, so I won't be too mean. Timo Bolin,
Team of
who's here for Sultai Neptune.
How am I supposed to remember a name like that?
Well, the Saltire is the flag of Scotland. Neptune is the god of the sea. Timo seems like an easy enough name to remember, even if Bolin isn't. So, there you go.
I'll start taking notes.
Don't worry about it.
Little late.
As to who you're representing, you want to spend your last story point on having a cover identity?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay. So you're here on behalf of Universal Exports.
See, I'm a liaison with Universal Exports. I was supposed to have met with Timo Bolton. We had an agreement set up with the Neptune Corporation.
I believe Mr. Bolin is in a meeting with one of the princes upstairs at the moment. If you'll wait here, I will fetch your pass, and I'll see what I can do about getting you a meeting room.
Yes, and have a dog brought to us.
Yes. Cooked or raw?
I had a cat jump up on my little soundbar. So
Cooked or raw?
Cats.
Cats, yeah. All right. So yeah, he returns with a sort of temporary emergency pass for you, because he's assuming that you're someone of note and power, given that you have 3 wives with you. So he gives you that pass. Yes, that should grant you access to the floor that you need to be on, and conference room 4 is available for you and your wives.
Yep. So we'll make our way up and see about making ourselves comfortable.
Yep.
Okay. Your
Wow.
pass grants you access to the elevator.
Did those bastards have to seat us right next to the kennel?
Bomb sniffer dogs. So obviously they're not too crazy about you guys because you're carrying grenades. All right. So yeah, you use your passcode to open up the door, and
8008.
you climb into the elevator.
Oop.
Just as the door's about to shut, a gorgeous woman in a very slinky red dress slips in at the last minute.
It's a
Seems to
fucking
be-
red ninja.
She seems to be more than a little bit drunk, and is carrying a bottle of Bollinger. Oops.
I know what the next code to enter is. 0451.
You seem to be a little tipsy there, madame.
Yes.
And a little bit out
I-
of dress.
I need to. Yeah, she adjusts her dress. I need to get up. My special friend is waiting for me upstairs. They wouldn't let me in.
What was this special friend of yours? What was his name?
They all run together, but you know, I'm in high demand. She touches up her hair. She's wearing a lot of ostentatious jewellery. Black diamonds from the look of it.
Damn.
Very fancy.
She refills her glass from a bottle and offers some to Huma. Would you care for a touch of Bolly?
Yes, of course. Let's a toast then. Perhaps to good fortune.
It's a good fortune. And she swigs from the bottle.
He likewise drinks.
Yep, it's good quality champagne. A little bit flat at this point, but still. Right, so the elevator reaches the right floor, which is up quite a way to give people an impressive view. There's a few people moving around, a couple of security guards, but mostly it seems to be conference rooms in like a a bracket that faces out to sea with very big windows. You can hear sort of low conversation going on. She sways off towards the toilets.
Are you buying that cover story? Because I'm not.
No. I may be a big dumb brute who can't say big dumb brute, but I don't believe her cover story either.
I'll have to keep an eye on that one.
It's no doubt another complication in the plan, but so far so good.
Yeah.
At least she didn't poison me.
That you know of.
Look, if I can survive those donuts of yours, I think I can survive much more.
Remember Krispy Kremes?
Exactly.
Bear Claw would be an excellent Joe codename.
Yes, it would. Well, considering that modern G.I. Joe comics, have the really fat women and shit in them. It's like, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, she looks like she should be on on an international team of, combat operators.
Bear Claw, the lesbian Canadian giantess armed with an axe.
Jesus.
Melee specialist. Pastry chef on the side.
Actually sounds pretty cool.
Kind of does.
Yeah. Former Dreadnought, so she's got the technology for the diamond tooth chainsaw.
I used to love Buzzer. Who was my
Wasn't he
favorite
like
Dreadnought?
a Oxford professor or something.
Yeah, he was a professor at one point and who started studying biker culture and somehow became
Got
part of it.
brainwashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, got brainwashed by Dr. Mindbender, I think. Something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was always cool. All right, so what's the plan then? You're on the right floor. Presumably, your target is in one of these conference rooms, but in the presence of royalty, which might prove difficult.
So, I mean, if he's going to come to us, then we might as well prepare ourselves for when this does happen.
Oh, you think he'll come to us?
Well, according to the god, it said that he would send him on another way.
We'll see if that happens. I have this sneaky suspicion he's going to have that red-dressed woman under his arm, but...
Okay, so you go to the conference room that you were given and wait, presumably. Okay, looking out to sea through these enormous windows, you can see sailing boats and motor yachts and super yachts and things cruising around. The wealth is just everywhere here. It's dripping from everything. Even the conference table in here is like gilt inlay, and it's just it's too much.
I feel like I'm in the wrong line of work.
Like if you only ate candy for the rest of your life.
Huma's going to sit back in one of the nice fancy chairs, and he's going to make himself comfortable, as though he's used to this sort of thing.
It's a long way from the marshes. All right.
I'll double check my equipment.
Well, surreptitiously.
Yes, of course.
Okay. After a while, a rather severe-looking woman in kind of cross between sort of almost business and dominatrix attire comes in. I was told you have a meeting with Mr. Bolan.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing on our schedule. Who are you representing?
We are with the Neptune Corporation. This is a bit of a short notice meeting.
I see. Well, I'm afraid our schedule is rather full. Is it something relatively quick and easy?
Oh yes, this will be very quick, very important.
So yeah, she scrolls through her phone tablet, phablet, I think they call them, probably Galaxy or something. Phablet, yeah. Can Huma please make a persuasion roll, I suppose? Or deception? Deception roll.
All right, 2d20. Don't fail me. 15.
15. Okay. Let me just check stats. All right. Well, I suppose we can spare a few minutes if we knock back one of the other meetings. Fine. We'll be with you in a minute. She ducks back out again.
I motion, Hurricane and Sunflower to get on either side of the door, so when he does come through, we can close it and do what we got to do.
Okay, so a short time later, Timo, who you recognize from his file, the secretary, and another sort of hanger-on, looks like a note-taker sort of guy with a laptop. They come in. Timo sits, secretary sits to one side of him, scrolling through her phone constantly, and the guy with the laptop sits down on the other side, pops it open, opens a new document, sort of stands ready to take notes. Timo leans across the table, folds his hands in front of him. I wasn't aware that we had a meeting, but I can make a few minutes for you. How can Saltire help you?
You see, we have a few questions pertaining to some matters in the Northern Scottish Seas.
Oh, I see. Would this be to do with our oil platforms, our seasteading initiative, the plan to try and extract mineral wealth from the oceans? What in particular concerns you?
The mineral wealth matters. We're looking to secure some rights to for access to the technologies, with some concerns over other potential buyers.
Well, we are striving to reach the environmental standards required. We have been granted access to certain test beds with our machinery. So far, the tests are all very positive, but we are having trouble bringing the damage down to acceptable levels. So, I mean, you could invest at this late stage. The returns won't be as good, perhaps, but you would still be buying in early to this technology and helping to create it. So
These troubles you speak of, would they happen to be Red Ninja related?
he seems surprised that one of Huma's wives is talking. I'm sorry, what?
Is he more surprised whenever the squad automatic weapon pops up after I rip the keffiyeh or the thing off?
The burqa.
The burqa, huh?
Something starts rising up out of the dress.
Yeah.
What?
Like, that's not a hard on.
It's a man, baby.
The man, baby.
Okay, so you're springing your surprise upon them, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can I have initiative rolls from everybody, if you please?
And how does that work?
Yeah, how does that work?
You have a skill called initiative, which you
Oh, I do.
We do. I don't have any dice on it or anything, so
I have a D2.
I'm going to use my intimidation.
You can't use your intimidation for your initiative.
Damn
That's
it.
a
Only for
7 I
social
rolled.
skills.
I rolled a 7.
I rolled a crit. Literally.
Hang on. Okay, so what did Banshee get?
I got a 7.
7. What did Hurricane get?
Crit. 20.
Well, what did you roll? 20. And it's a crit. So, plus. What did Sunflower get?
14.
14. Puma?
10.
Right. So. Oops. Initiative.
Yeah, I just realized Banshee hasn't got to attack anyone this session.
Well,
I
not
think
yet.
that's about to change.
Now's your chance.
Yeah, all I did was hit a guy from behind. So
Yeah, it's true.
So it's just taking me a minute to sort out everyone's initiative. Okay. Right. Because you got a crit, Hurricane goes first. So you got a move, an action, and a number of minor actions equal to your speed -3.
So 1.
What do you want to do? So you've kicked this all off by basically tearing off your burqa and raising an enormous gun.
Well, I don't actually want to start opening up on anybody with this thing, so for now I'm going to just keep it in a ready position.
Okay.
So like if I see anybody starting to react, like is pulling a weapon or something like that, then I'm ready to
Yeah.
cut
There
them
are
into.
Overwatch rules. So what
Yeah.
you do is you set a condition upon which you will fire. So if any of them go for a weapon, you're going to shoot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Overwatch. Any weapons? Okay. Timo curses in German and tries to take cover under the table or his move action. So that's him done. So yeah, Scheiße! And leaps back, knocking his chair over and scrambling under the table in a cowardly manner, as befits a member of Cobra. The secretary reaches into her purse and tries to pull free a pistol. Do you want to gun her down horrendously with a heavy machine gun?
Well,
Well,
Do
what you said
it.
you were going to do, so...
I knew she was. I knew she would do it, so yeah, I guess so.
Okay, make a shooting roll with your HMG.
Okay, I don't actually have a shooting skill.
You should do.
Would it be targeting?
Targeting, that's... Yes.
Targeting?
Names.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so I don't add my speed or anything to that. It's just straight up the dice roll.
The dice roll plus the d20.
Plus the D20,
And you
yeah.
can choose before you open fire whether you want to take down shifts to do more damage or.
She doesn't look like she's that tough.
Which means she's gonna be the most dangerous one.
Probably. Watch her. She's some kind of like super bad or something.
Ninja.
Ninja bat chick. That is a 19. That's an 11 plus a 8 on the 8-sider.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the total? Sorry.
It's a 19 with the 8 being a crit.
Okay, so that's an extra point of damage. You're just doing a short burst, so it's 2 sharp damage. So that's 4 sharp damage. And that's definitely a hit. Okay, so yeah, she reaches for a pistol. You swing the gun across. There's a deafening sort of Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. And heavy rounds slam into her, blowing her into shreds and throwing her back against the rear wall. Several of the heavy caliber bullets smash through the partition wall and carry on through some of the rest of the building. But you didn't botch, so they don't hit anybody else, like a crown prince or anything.
That would have been bad.
Sunflower, what do you want to do?
So she gets an additional 10-foot movement, I think. So she's going to use that to get into a position to be able to shoot our primary target with the tranquilizer gun that she's just drawn underneath her burqa.
Yeah.
Now, it says here that I have a wet work specialization and that specializations allow D2s to come up
To
crits.
To come up crits, yeah.
So does that count to... I'm assuming that wet work includes targeting as a part of that specialization.
Let me check your sheet.
Was it? I'm not sure it says anywhere what that actually...
Yeah, it might remind me. What's it under?
Right at the bottom of the sheet, it says secondary military specialty wet work.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Q.
Okay, so what actually applies in this situation would be the sneak attack, because it's a silent weapon.
Okay, so it does it. +1 damage. Great, I'll kill the fucker.
Or no, because it'll be doing knockout damage. So
Okay.
All right, so make a shooting test to
Yep.
try and hit him.
Okay, so that is 16, and it's a D2, isn't it? So that's a 1. 17.
Okay. And his surviving bodyguard has the bullet stopper capability, which adds 1 to his evasion. Sorry, what was your total you got then?
17.
Okay. Yeah. As you fire the dart, his other assistant moves to get up. Their chair rolls across and gets in the way, stopping the dart. But you have others.
And I have a move, or have I used my move to get to the position where I could shoot?
Well, you used your free 10-foot move to get into position, so you've still
Fair
got
enough.
the move.
In that case, I want to get in front of the door. So I am stuck.
Okay.
So I'm physically blocking the way out or in.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Huma.
Yeah, these walls are kind of thin, apparently, so...
So I'm gonna go make a lunge for our oh so esteemed guest, with the and try to grapple him to the ground.
Okay. So
Throw
that
him to the
is-
floor.
That is a might attack.
That is a 20 on the d20 and a 2 on the d4.
So
22.
22. Right, you get hold of him. And you want to try and prevent him from moving, right?
I made mention about wanting to get handcuffs for.
Okay. Well, you got him grappled, so that's a start.
Yep.
So he can't move until he gets out of the grapple. All right. Banshee.
So then I.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, so I would probably make motion to one of the others to lend me a hand and holding him down.
Yeah. So Banshee.
I am going to head towards the closest enemy and grapple them and punch them to death. Or attempt to.
Okay.
Punch the nerd.
Make a might attack roll.
Okay.
This is what you
Might
do.
of D12. This is what I do. Yes.
Punch him in the dick. Punch him in the dick.
That is a 12, unfortunately.
No, that's fortunate.
Oh, it
if
is?
that was on the D12.
No, it was a 6 and a 6 total.
Oh, so it's 12
Ew.
in total.
Yeah.
Okay. But the bodyguard isn't particularly tough. So, and you were trying to grapple him, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. So you have edge when grappling, so you should have rolled a D12, a D10, a D8, a D6, a D4, and a D2, and taken whichever one was highest.
Jeez.
You
But
get the
since-
full ladder.
Yeah, but
Hold on a
since
second.
it worked, then you don't need to worry. Okay, so you've got a hold of him. Right, so yeah, you take him down. You've got him held. He's not escaping anytime soon, so you can then proceed to choke him out if you want.
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay, yeah, we'll take 2 turns of further grappling to choke him out. Right, he's held, so he can't do much. He will try to struggle free. Can you make a brawn roll, please?
Okay.
Him against her? That ought to be funny.
Yeah, you need to beat a 3.
Okay. That is a 19, 20, 21.
Okay, yeah, he struggles feebly to get free, and you barely even notice. You've got him held so tight.
Kung Fu grip, remember?
Yeah. You hear commotion outside, screaming, more breaking glass. It's probably just because the heavy machine gun bullets have ripped through the building.
No big deal.
And therefore alerted a whole bunch of other people. Alright. So, new turn. Hurricane.
All right. We've got him in hand pretty much, right?
Pretty much. He's held,
All right.
at least temporarily. He's not cuffed yet, though.
All right. Geez,
Maybe you
we're
can do
not,
that.
we can't call for an evac, can we? From here?
Might be tricky. You could call for one, but it might cause an incident.
Yeah, we'll just have to hoof it to one of the vehicles.
But we
All right.
aren't G.I. Joe. We're in the business of causing international incidents.
We kind of are. All right. Open the door and try to secure us a path out to the vehicle bay,
Okay.
garage, or
You
wherever they've got cars parked.
all right? Well, you need to get back to the elevator or to the stairwell.
Right.
You open the door, and as you do so, a security guard falls past you with a fountain of blood pouring out of his face.
Oh, I
A
didn't.
shard of what looks like glass is stuck in his eye and out through the back of his skull.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the corridor, between you and the elevators, you see the woman in the red dress.
Do it.
The dress has been torn up the sides to allow her legs free movement. She's holding what look like black glass knives in each hand. And while she's ripped her dress and kicked her shoes off to make herself more mobile, she's still wearing all her jewelry.
So she basically just killed him with jewelry.
Yeah.
It's like natural. It's like brass knuckles.
Lady, I don't know who you are, but we're getting out of here with our target. I'd advise you to step out of the way, or you're going to get hurt. It's the only warning you get. Go into Overwatch.
And what if she does anything, you're going to shoot her?
Pretty much.
Okay. So
You breathe, shoot her.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've
your
already
free
seen
action was to interact with the door, then move out cautiously, which you did, and then use your attack action to go on to Overwatch against it. Okay. Done. Timo still isn't cuffed, so he tries to struggle free of Huma's grip. Can Huma make a brawn check, please?
I thought Banshee was holding them.
No, Banshee's got the other guy. The laptop.
Oh, we'll just crush that guy's skull and get on with it.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Shit balls.
You gain a story point.
I'm assuming I'm getting elbowed in the face.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. Yeah, you struggle to keep hold of him, but he is slippery like an eel. He gets his elbow into your face and rolls away from you underneath the conference table. So that was his attack action, was breaking free. His move is to roll away. His free actions, he can't really do much else. He can draw his weapon. He pulls a small pistol from an ankle holster and cocks it. Sunflower.
So presumably all I did was step out of the way to allow Hurricane to pass through the door.
Yeah.
So I've seen all of this chap escaping from Huma's grasp. Now let me get this right. Banshee has got one of the two flunkies.
Yeah, so the woman, the secretary, was gunned down. The other secretary or assistant, whatever, with the laptop is currently being held.
Yep. And since Hurricane seems to have been speaking in a normal volume of voice, I'm going to infer that there's somebody outside in the corridor that we don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the situation. Is it easier to try and get this guy out while mobile or unconscious?
They don't struggle as much when they're unconscious.
Yeah, that's true. And he's also got a gun in his hand, and the only weapon I have in my hand is the trank. So yeah, I'll just maneuver to a point where I can try and knock him out.
Okay.
The trank
so you'll trank him again. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just find your character sheet here. Right, your speed is 5. So you can spend 2 actions aiming, minor actions aiming. If you don't move, that can give you another one. So you can upshift your targeting by 3. So your targeting
2,
is
4, 6, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So D20 plus D8.
Yeah, so it's 13, 5, 18.
18. Okay. Alright. Right. Dart hits him and seems to slow him down as the drug starts to take effect, but he's not down yet. He seems to be quite a fit physical specimen, so it might take a couple of shots to knock him out.
Sorry, can you just remind me of the uses? Did you say story points can be used for kind of a player narrative, as it were, intrusion? Sort of
Yes.
a retcon E-Blade in the dark type thing?
Yeah, to an extent.
Would we want to use
Okay.
it for some sort of evac via the rooftop?
I'm wondering whether I might not have a long rappel rope under my burqa and we go out of the window.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. That's suitably dramatic and heroic.
True.
So, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to establish that so we all know where we are. So, okay, cool. But
Does that mean we all throw off our burqas and then just rappel down the building?
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool.
okay, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to do that yet because the priority is to get this guy who's got a pistol restrained first. But yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The woman outside in the torn red dress, facing off with our friend Hurricane. Right, she just shifts her grip slightly on her knives without, hurling them at you or moving to attack. When you're facing a heavy machine gun, that seems like a sensible thing not to do. So she just uses her actions to converse with you. Hand over the Crimson Guard. He must die.
You can kill him after we've had a chance to question him at HQ.
Don't make me laugh. You'll never hand him over to me.
Well, who's to say he's going to survive the interrogation?
You Joes, you're far too ethical. You won't give him what he deserves for his treachery. What they all deserve for their treachery.
Lady, I'm with you on this, but I've got orders. And I really don't want to fight somebody who I don't consider an enemy yet.
As she licks the edge of one of her black glass knives, cutting her own tongue and drooling blood down her chin. Sangre per el Baron.
You
Shit.
can play with your girlfriend later. Let's hurry up and get this one out here.
All right. She is overwatching you. Right. Huma.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Huma's gonna make a lunge for, or actually no. Huma's gonna pull out the concussion grenade
Mm-hmm.
and is gonna give that a throw over towards, probably through the door towards what are
Towards
the lady in red, or perhaps
The lady
we
in
should-
red.
All right, she won't expect that.
Okay, so you get up for one of your sub actions, I guess. Move to the door and toss the grenade. So you tossing the grenade sets off her overwatch. Her overwatch sets off Hurricane's overwatch.
Yep.
So
That's how this
I thought-
goes.
I thought her Overwatch was specifically if Hurricane makes an action.
oh no, it was if anyone does anything. But it's fine. So the grenade leaves your hand, right, and starts traveling down the corridor in slow motion. Her grip on her knife shifts. She rears back to throw. Then Hurricane opens fire. Right. Make a shooty roll.
Shooty. 17 total.
All right. I've misplaced a character sheet. There it is. 17.
Which character is this?
It's
an
a
original?
neat one. It's an original, yeah. She's Umbria. All right. So she throws her body to one side as she goes to throw the knife. Your shots go past her and punch fist-sized holes through the door of the elevator.
I missed.
Yep.
Wow.
The elevator's probably out of commission.
Well, now we're definitely going out by the window.
Shot to
I mean-
pieces.
But that also means people won't be coming up.
True.
She hurls her knife. So, deadly. It's D20 and athletics for thrown, I believe. So it's D4. Right. What is your athletics. No, your toughness or evasion, whichever's highest. Yeah,
16 evasion.
16 evasion. You are struck, and she got a critical.
Oh. Uh-oh.
How much health do you have?
I have 6.
Okay, you've taken 3 damage.
Ooh.
Right, this black glass blade cuts through your body armor like it was butter and pierces the flesh beneath. It's so sharp you don't even feel it until you feel the blood running down.
Oh.
Yeah, these are obsidian.
Yeah, and then the concussion grenade goes off. And me being me and you guys being you, I did not pay much attention to the explosives rules. Equipment. What are you doing using weird weapons? That's usually what Kit does.
True.
Weapons 139.
See, and here I was the one suggesting smoke grenades, but no.
Hey, I don't want smoke grenades. Smoke grenades make it harder to hit the bad guys.
That's why you don't stand in the smoke.
But, I mean, they stand in it too.
It's for us to get away quicker.
That too. I figured that would have been useful.
Yeah.
I guess as long as it hits the right area, it does the damage. So I can't be bothered looking it up properly, so we'll just go with that. Right. So make an athletics roll to throw the grenade in the right area.
That's a 3
In total?
in total.
Okay.
So
that's a
you
miss.
dropped it under me. Is that what you're saying?
No, you see, I threw the pin.
No,
I see what I did wrong.
it deviates past her, goes through the smashed doors of the elevator, and then explodes, doing further damage to the lift, which starts to drop.
Good job, man. You finished taking out the elevator.
Right.
I see it as a net positive.
Banshee's turn. You still have this guy held.
I'm gonna try and beat him to death again.
Well, you've got him held. Do you want to break his neck? Do you want to choke him out?
Yes, I want to do that instead. Yes.
I was about to say you could just choke him out, but
Okay, so
Okay.
might.
Make
Don't be
might
silly.
roll, yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can roll higher than a 12 this time. That is a 20 total.
Okay. That's a hit then, and combined with the damage you took last time from you grappling him. Alright, he passes out in your arms and pees himself.
I drop him.
I would hope so.
Right.
Unless your character has some kind of weird fetish.
So he's out.
I just love men who urinate on themselves after I choke them.
A couple of either security guards or bodyguards from the prince are coming down the other way from the corridor towards Hurricane and Huma. But they've got guns at the ready, but haven't opened fire on anyone yet. They're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, new turn. Hurricane.
Okay. Well, let's see. She's not shooting at me. All right.
Are we finishing up soon?
Yeah,
Okay.
after this fight, probably.
Okay, I'm ripping both frags off the thing and tossing them in the hallway, stepping back through the door and closing it, and
Okay.
hopefully bracing it or locking it. So hopefully everybody who's in that hallway will GTFO or get blown up.
Okay. Can you make an athletics roll, please?
I can. It's one
With
of my
a
better rolls.
downshift.
The downshift.
Yeah, because you're throwing 2 grenades at once
Gotcha.
while also wrestling a heavy machine gun.
Okay. Well, how does a downshift work?
So what's your normal athletics dice?
D4. Can't go much
Okay,
lower than
so
2.
Downshift 1, D2. So it's
Okay.
a D2 plus a D20.
Ooh. So I got a 9 total.
Okay.
Not great.
Deviate to 1 o'clock by about 6 feet. So the only thing that really makes sense there is, the grenades fly past her and detonate in the elevator shaft. having dropped down a bit more. She is, however, thrown forwards, and she does that sort of superhero landing on the floor, with, like one leg
Does a flip
outstretched.
first?
Probably does a flip, yeah, to absorb the effect of the explosion.
Because she's cool.
Yeah. So Timo has been shot in the ass with a dart, and is cornered.
We are behind a locked door now.
Yeah. Okay. He turns around and empties several shots into the window, which fractures but doesn't shatter. Sunflower.
Okay, that was gracious of him to start the job, but
Yeah.
well, while he's got his back to me, then shoot him. Or actually, if I can do it, I'll walk up and try and basically almost kind of press the tranquilizer gun against his carotid and just
Okay.
try and
Yeah.
get the dart straight into his bloodstream.
So sneak attack. So you get +1 damage and upshift. So increase your actually two upshift.
Just D2, D4, D6.
And you can spend a couple of actions to aim, so you can step it up by another 2. So
D8, D10.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is it's a 10 on the dice, on the 10-sided, so crit, presumably.
nice crit.
23 all in.
All right. So that's a hit. It normally does 1 stun damage, goes up by 1 for the crit, goes up by 1 for the sneak attack. Okay. Yeah, you come up behind him while he's blazing away with his pistol at the window and just sort of hold the gun to his neck and fire. It jams all the way in and injects this stuff directly into his neck. His brain is flooded with drugs, and he says something that sounds a little bit like Bibble and then falls over.
Bibble.
Okay, and I used all my actions for aiming, so I don't have anything else I can do, so I'm done.
Yeah. Right. Now, you'd withdrawn back into the room after chucking the grenades, hadn't you? And shut the door.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, if she's gonna come after us, she's got to come through that door.
Yeah. So what she does is she yanks an ornate hair clasp out of her hair, twists it, and
We
throws
can't see
it.
that.
No, but got to describe it because it's cool.
Yeah.
Which turns it into an acid grenade, which goes off at the door. If she hits, of course.
Fumble, fumble, fumble.
No, crit.
Damn it.
All right, so yeah, there's a muffled boom at the door, and little puffs of green smoke appear around the outside of it, and there's a hissing noise, and the wood starts to disintegrate.
Guys, we better hurry.
Yeah. Right.
I'll back up towards the window, but not to the window because I don't want to block it.
Right.
Keep the
Puma?
gun. Oh, keep the gun trained
you
on the
keep
door
the gun up.
to
And
overwatch.
if she comes in, yeah.
Yep.
I want to toss the handcuffs over to secure our target.
Yep.
And I want to take that obsidian dagger that was tossed at me.
Yeah,
and I want to
still
throw that
in
back
you.
out through the new opening. Because
Okay.
I am trained in throwing.
Oh, awesome. All right, make an attack roll using athletics then.
That's a whole 4.
Start to show some basic competency.
I didn't
All right,
want to use
it's
the gun. I thought I wanted to have the quippy little line of like, you forgot this.
Well, it's a nice thought, and it's the thought that counts. But you hit the door frame, so it just goes dunk and chips slightly. Right, Banshee.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
So where are we in the layout of the building?
Oh, I have a suggestion real quick. For
Yes,
you?
go ahead.
Okay.
Is there like a big conference table or something in here?
Yes, there is a big table.
Okay,
Because
Banshee's
Timo
strong
was
enough.
trying to hide under it.
Yeah, Banshee's strong enough that she could probably lift it and put it up in place of the door.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah,
To cover-
no problem.
cover-
Don't need to roll for that.
Cover our escape a
yes.
little longer.
So you get up from the unconscious body of the man you just choked out, grab the table, and swing it over and slam it where the door was, blocking off that area and shattering the obsidian knife that was stuck in the door frame. Right. You hear the pop, pop, pop of handgun shots outside.
Was that into the big thick table or?
Yep.
It's probably the bodyguard engaging with Umbria.
Ah.
So that'll buy you a turn or two while she slaughters them. So, Hurricane.
Okay,
Blow out the window.
Sunflower, you got that rope?
Yes, if I can sacrifice one of my actions on my turn now for an off-turn action to just drop it for him.
Yeah. Right, if
And
you'd
I
to
will help him
attach
secure
and
it.
Be ready.
I'll help him secure it if he throws it.
Yeah. But you still got to finish taking out the window.
In which case, in response to the request for the rope, I take one glance at the window, which is still intact, and throw Hurricane one of my timer explosives.
Yep. All right. So while Umbria slaughters the security guards, it gives you enough moments to blow out or smash out the window, attach the repelling gear, and escape out through it.
Yep.
All right. So you descend to the ground, captive in hand, and escape off in these supercars that you stole that were just laying around. All right. So mission accomplished. Umbria comes to the edge of the broken window and stares out after you with narrowed eyes and vows revenge. But otherwise, mission successful. Get back to the airport, back onto your transport, and return with an important intelligence asset to headquarters.
And also importantly, medical attention because I've probably left a trail of blood.
Yeah, you did lose half your health in one hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost killed you in one hit.
it's a nice scar. All right. Cool. That's the end of the game. So that's the second Essence 20 game that we've run. I think I prefer G.I. Joe to Transformers.
I do too.
it can be kind of difficult to get into the mindset of a giant robot. So, yeah, that's the trick.
I wouldn't mind doing more of this.
Yeah.
I've been playing in a regular Transformers game, and we just hit like level 14, so I've gotten a chance to check out the higher level Transformers play, or higher level play with the system, and it doesn't get too terribly number bloaty. Like, I think I have a couple skills where I have kind of capped out that curve with like rolling 3d6.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's still fairly well managed.
Yeah.
And, getting to play like a regular game with, full power Joes would be.
Well, I'll think about it if people can be regular. That's the trick. And we still have some other games to do, but maybe we could take a pause and do a short campaign or something. But I will think about it, and I will solicit advice.
Okay.
All right, that's it for tonight. It is midnight, so I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. So I will see you later. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. I streamed to Twitter as well tonight. I found that option finally came up. We actually had over a dozen people watching for a while, which was nice. So, yeah, like and subscribe. All that YouTuber crap. All right, night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good night.
gentlemen. Good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Later.